say? Did you check your messages? I've been texting all day. I know you deal with that like a house. No one can deal with that like a house. Got it like a retro love. Burn it down and save our love. Can you take me higher? Can you take me higher than this? Can you take me higher? Can you take me higher than this? Can you take me higher? Can you take me higher than this? Can you take me higher? Can you take me higher than this? I know I may be a lie. I get it. I'm something I need attention 24/7. Not to mention I get jealous. Can you take me higher? Can you take me higher than this? Can you take me higher? Can you take me higher than this? Can you take me higher? Can you take me higher than this? Can you take me higher? Can you take me higher than this? Can you take me higher? Can you take me higher than this? Can you take me higher?
No matter what you're thinking, no matter what they say about you come through, no matter what you're drinking, you could ask me why, it's 'cause I want to. I just wanna, if I want to, if I want to, if I want to. I just wanna, if I want to, if I want to, if I want to. Tonight I wanna make it, feel like we up in Vegas. I don't want to, I ain't going home, got my girls, I ain't pulling up alone. 'Cause I work too hard, I buy my shit, don't waste my time, get off my tip. I don't explain much, that's why I don't complain much. So what, I'm getting drunk if I want to, and I only give a fuck when I want to. When I want to, you can tell me how you feel, tell me what you think, and it won't change a thing. No matter what you're thinking, no matter what they say about you come through, no matter what you're drinking, you could ask me why, it's 'cause I want to. I just wanna, if I want to, if I want to, if I want to. I just wanna, if I want to, if I want to, if I want to. I just wanna, if I want to, if I want to, if I want to. I just wanna, if I want to, if I want to, if I want to. Tonight I wanna make it. Tonight I'm getting faded. I don't care who sees, and I don't need no reason, no. 'Cause I work too hard, I buy my shit, don't waste my time, get off my tip. I don't explain much, that's why I don't complain much. So what, I'm getting drunk if I want to, and I only give a fuck when I want to. When I want to, you can tell me how you feel, tell me what you think, and it won't change a thing. No matter what you're thinking, no matter what they say about you come through, no matter what you're drinking, you could ask me why, it's 'cause I want to. I just wanna, if I want to, if I want to, if I want to. I just wanna, if I want to, if I want to, if I want to. I just wanna, if I want to, if I want to, if I want to. I just wanna, if I want to, if I want to, if I want to. I just wanna drink if I want to, have a little fun if I want to. Yeah, 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 if I want to. If I want to, I just wanna drink if I want to.
You got it, baby. Give me some, baby. Cause yeah, melanin popping, everything firm, nothing ain't dropping on you. All the big heads them watching, 6-figure clocking, but that ain't bothering you. No. Man could have gone on them ways, you know. But them boy go run the place, you know. Watch how your mother pray for you. Look how you're born with flavor, flavor, flavor. Melanin flavor, flavor, flavor. Sign the pen on your paper, paper, paper. Melanin flavor, flavor, flavor. Tell a boy go brave, you know. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Before you hot up the place, you know. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Look how you sweet like bonbon, like sugar in a pot when I brown. You know where you come from, so nobody can take you for clown now. Cause you know what you have is special. So baby, don't give it up now, because your mother pray for you. Look how you're born with flavor, flavor, flavor. Melanin flavor, flavor, flavor. Sign the pen on your paper, paper, paper. Melanin flavor, flavor, flavor. Tell a boy go brave, you know. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Before you hot up the place, you know. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Tell a boy go brave, you know. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Before you hot up the place, you know. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Look how you're born with flavor, flavor, flavor. Melanin flavor, flavor, flavor. Sign the pen on your paper, paper, paper. Melanin flavor, flavor, flavor. Tell a boy go brave, you know. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Before you hot up the place, you know. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Never come second to none. Watch your road where you're walking and go like fi run. It's way easier said than done. From you wake up in the morning is a slippery tide. Trouble day up on your mind so you swiftly blood. Paralyze them all the lies, now you feel swiftly sad. Can't afford to make an error through your distillate. You can't forget it. Dreams make you wake up early. And then you say you start to regret it. But what you gonna do about it? What can you do about it? Gonna do about it? Your weapon and you take him ghost. Looking right up on the corner and you start to boast. How you circle him hands and him like your throat. Now you look over your shoulder and you can't repose. Trouble there up on the mic and now him keep my post. Can't afford to lose your life, now I will lose your soul. Me not live another minute through your distant code. All of a sudden you're not bad clip reload. You can't forget it. Dreams make you wake up early. And then you say you start to regret it. But what you gonna do about it? Never comes second.
Yeah, yeah. Amen. Talk to God. Yeah. Telling them feel that. Amen. Talk yo, Juice. First you wanna know how I blew up. But first you gotta know how I grew up. Smart kid, yeah, but still a big screw up. Man, when I was one down, it was two up. I made do with, but there was only few of. Few friends, but a whole lot of shooters. I realized they couldn't do nothing to us, still one by one, man, they f***ed the whole crew up. And then fuck push, y'all get them whole food chew up. Love how you came in the game and you changed it. Channel the pain in the music and pop champagne with the same damn that you came with. You go the distance, if something is out of place, take your time and rearrange it. Just stay persistent, this shit is already written. All you had to do was claim it, dog, yeah. I did it, I made it, yeah. I saw what I wanted, I shot for the top and I claimed it, yeah. Look at me, mama, look at your son, he on the news, yeah. Did this for us, did it for me, mostly for you, yeah. All my life, we was down, now we up. Talk to God, telling him fill my cup. I did it, I made it, yeah. I claimed it, yeah. Now they won't hit me for the hookup. See my name in the stars when I look up. Man, I caught a wave and I run with it. I'ma give it back when I'm done with it. Have fun with it. They lurking, they don't wanna follow me. They gon' call me the wave or the prodigy. I do what I want, no apologies. Do it till my dad say he proud of me. Searching for the racks, yeah. So I'm never home, but I see you when I'm back there. Shorty bird's hat, yeah. You know where to find me. Woman in the trap, yeah. I try to tell them, no matter the obstacle, anything's possible. It's undeniable. Inspiring you even when I ain't trying to. I did it, I made it, yeah. I saw what I wanted, I shot for the top and I claimed it, yeah. Look at me, mama, look at your son, he on the news, yeah. Did this for us, did it for me, mostly for you, yeah. All my life, we was down, now we up. Talk to God, telling him fill my cup. I did it, I made it, yeah. I claimed it, yeah. Talk your shit. Oh yeah. I got Lil Shorty in the bag. The way she wind her body for me, I think I'm gonna be a dad. She'll make the youth so honey, and I'm not searching for no confrontation. I just a good vibration. She a wet up like a condensation. Just hope the come now, baby. Fine for the night, thought I might not outside. Girl, I like what I like. get that money and we be blowing it all night. And we can travel to a place where it's sunny. Show off your bikini body and lay it up at the shoreline. Pulling the crack, you got your lipstick pressed on. Half of the day, baby, pull up with your best on. What can I say? I got a body you can flex on. I got it easy cause she pulled up with a dress on. Yeah. Mine for the night, thought I might not outside. Girl, I like what I like. Oh, goose with the Sprite. Girl, it's you that I like. Put this touch to the side. Oh, it's you that I want so much. You that I touch so much. Oh, it's you that I want so much. You that I touch so much. Oh, only my bread and I your friend zone, girl. Thanks a down in your end zone, girl. End zone, girl. She see the bike, she think I'm Benzo, girl. She want to ride up in my end zone, girl. Yeah, because she rocks up, she dips up. She a dance to reggae and calypso. Lightweight, baby sip slow. Love it when she turn up on her tiptoe, yeah. Regular she joke, she don't play about me. Girls gone wild up on the balcony. Yeah. She bubble and she pushing up her hips so can't keep her lips off me. Yeah. Oh baby, oh, mine for the night. Thought I might not outside. Girl, I like what I like. Oh, goose with the Sprite. Girl, it's you that I like. Put this touch to the side. Oh, it's you that I want so much. You that I touch so much. Oh, it's you that I want so much. You that I touch so much. Oh.
It's been 18 days since I kept her waiting. Probably won't last for another 18. She asked me where I'm at when it comes to dating. Can't you see that I don't wanna talk yet? And I probably won't answer if you call my phone. Always asking why I put her in a friend zone. Saying she nearby at another friend's home. I don't wanna see another sunset.
She don't wanna see another sunset where the stars don't show, cause the clouds they're upset for me. Told you I was trying, change your mind and I'm dying. You don't wanna see another star fall from the sky like that. You don't wanna see me fall from grace. Maybe I was
Now we celebrate. Now we celebrate. Celebrate with Caribbean. Whenever. Now we celebrate. Wherever. Now we celebrate. Whenever. Celebrate with Caribbean. Whenever. Now we celebrate. Wherever. Now we celebrate. Whenever. Celebrate with Caribbean. Now we celebrate. Now we celebrate. Celebrate with Caribbean.
Caribbean Tropical Hard Cider. Drink responsibly.
Good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome to Island Girl Talk. We are your hosts. I'm Krystal, Khayne.
Trinidad, Shawna, Neicy.
And we have our guest in the house today. One time we ain't sticking. Brave boy is in the house.
What's the scene? I'm with three beautiful ladies here in the studio.
We go
Island
take
Girl
that.
Talk.
He's super already. Compliments start from the top of the show.
I'm a big fan of the show. Big fan of the show.
You know my guy. All right, guys. So as you know, well, it's a long time we didn't see all, yeah? It's a while, 2 weeks, and because the storm that never was, and we ain't complaining. We happy, you know. We happy, but we missed you all. We missed you all. And based on the messages I've been getting, you all missed us too. So we appreciate you. Big up you. Right. So, as you know, it's Guys Perspective, which should have been last week, but we pushed it because we cannot leave the guys out. And that said, we are still going to have a Guys Perspective at the end of this month. So let's get through 2 Guys Perspective in 1 month, right?
What? Just because of you.
Right? Now, all you going. Greetings and pleasantries.
Good.
The norm.
I get.
How has your week been going? How was your weekend? You too, Marcus?
Yeah.
Anything interesting happen?
This weekend, it just seems like a whirlwind, I'm trying to figure out what did I even do this weekend. I feel like I just be working every day.
Well, we know there are plenty going on with you, which we can get into, right? But guys, before we do, we're going to talk about Marcus and his journey and stuff. But before we get into that, we just want to remind you all to call us. Feel free to call us at any time, 4664-O-U-R. That's 4664687. Remember to like and share this live. Oh, gosh. Click on the link and share it to all your social media. Bring people in. The more the merrier. We love talking and sharing with you all. All right? What else? What else we want to do? We want to big up Caribe. We have a lot of good things coming and are in store for y'all. We have been hard at work over the weekend. Island Girl Talk. Coming up with some new content and things for y'all. Like I like to say, things tinging.
Things tinging. I still love that one.
That's going to be your show now.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? And let's get right into it. We're going to chat with Marcus a little bit and see what he has been up to, which is always a lot. You're always busy, yeah?
Yeah.
Real busy.
Addicted to progress.
Addicted to progress, boy. We
Your
love
brand plugged in. Plug. Nice.
Well, we know you have you have this bio. There's a lot on this bio, so I'm gonna give you the opportunity to bring people who live in under a rock up to speed. Right? Tell us a little bit about your journey thus far, from beginning to present. See where you could muster in.
Well, actually, it was.
We have 5 minutes.
To summarize it, my dad is a television producer, Hilton Brave Boy. Oh, wow. So I kind of grew up in entertainment. He used to kind of carry me everywhere with him. He used to be like how JW would host on TV, and so he used to interview Super Blue, everybody from Super Blue to government ministers. Okay. And he was also a calypsonian, not professionally. So I kind of grew up composing songs, going to school, and so I would say music has been in me or with me since I'm like 3 years old, 2 years old.
Wow.
And then he entered me into like calypso competitions in primary school, the NJAC.
Serious? Primary school too?
Yeah, primary school.
That's your young.
I'm an only child too. So
Join the club.
Right, pick up the only child crew. And then I was on 12 and under, I don't really say this much. I was on City Back 7 under with Auntie Hazel.
Okay.
And I used to play clarinet.
Okay.
And I won Best Instrumentalist on 12 and under.
Since you're small boy.
Right. Then I discovered lineman.
Okay.
Boy.
Then I wanted to be a DJ. And we had a sound system called Fifth Element Sound System, and we played in one house party and the laptop shut off. And that was the end of that. Short-lived. And then I was in Youth Fest, and so I entered Soca Monarch at a young age too, in a crew called the Breathless Crew.
Okay.
So I used to see people like Class and thing backstage, and like a lot of people in the industry, I would see from such a young age. And then what did I do after that? So Breathless Crew, we released a few songs, 1 or 2 play on the radio. We got a little blind, a little 1 play on the radio. Back in the day, sending CDs to radio stations.
That was a big deal back then.
Yeah.
Right.
Get true.
Then I took a break, and then I went to law school. And I got on the business side of the industry, and I used to co-manage an artist named Anya Lee Ennis. So big up Anya.
I remember Anya.
Yes, I was part of Anya's team.
Yeah.
Went to New York for a while, and that introduced me to the I would say the international music industry, because we were trying to get Anya signed, and met a bunch of people there. New York changed my life. Then I moved back to Trinidad, and then Anya always encouraged me she's like, Marcus, you're so talented, you need to continue singing.
Yes.
And then after I finished law school, I went into a solo career. I started doing mixtapes. I had a song called I'm a Trini that I used to, it was a remix to Wiz Khalifa's Black and Yellow. And then while doing a dub plate for Scorch, I went to Mevon studio, and I met Young Rod, and we just started the trap soul movement there. And I think we created our own version of history in Trinidad. Some people might forget, but we did a lot for 4 years. And then after that, I met Bad Royal, and I did a bit of an EDM tour in the States. And then before the pandemic, I went to London, and then the pandemic hit. I had so many international plans, but I was dabbling in EDM a lot. And then during the pandemic, I started to dabble in reggaeton and Afrobeats and those markets. And here I am. So I hope I didn't take too long there.
That was a very informative summary.
Yes. And I still feel he in touch on everything.
A lot of things. So we go fill in the blanks.
So I have a question here. It's something I always wondered.
Okay.
What caused you to change your name from Mark Hardy to Marcus Brave Boy to Brave Boy?
To Brave Boy. Okay. So my government name is actually Marcus Brave Boy.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, that's my real name.
Brave Boy is a real name?
Yeah.
And his father was Brave Boy, and I think I wanted that was his father.
Government name. So funny enough, my both grandparents on my dad's side are from Grenada, and Brave Boy is a normal name in Grenada.
It sounds like a super K type of thing.
It does, and my whole life. Everybody nobody in primary school believe my name. Immigration officers don't believe my name. As you pull aside, it's like, that's not your real name.
So where did Hardy come from then?
So because I studied law, I also have my own business. I do. I have a social media agency called Ike Consulting Limited. Shameless plug. I Know Everybody Consulting Limited. That's the name of the company. And I was living a double life because during the day I'll go to meetings with like corporate people and stuff, and then in the night I'll go Woodford Cafe and perform. And I realized at the time I wasn't sure if my clients and Trinidad generally would be open-minded enough, to have like a service provider who's a rapper. So I decided to have a sobriquet, and I didn't want something too far away from my real name. So Mark was short for Marcus, and Hardy means strong, resilient, which is a kind of synonym for Brave Boy. So but I changed it back after years of that. So there were other Mark Hardys in the international music industry, I should say. And there was another Mark Hardy that was a Satanist. And there was a Mark Hardy that was on sexual assault charges.
Oh my God.
So I was like, let me stop calling myself Mark Hardy.
No wonder you wanted to
So
change
I guess
it.
you need to research your name when you're selecting.
Yeah. These things are dead, but during that period when I was doing all these things, these guys were doing all these things. And then I think the change back to Brave Boy has some sentimental meaning as well, because my dad got sick, right? And he sounds like he has Parkinson's and now dementia and stuff, right?
Wow.
And it's okay. And it was more about paying respect to his legacy, like keeping that Brave Boy name
alive.
And then I also realized my clients don't care if I'm doing all these things. And once I do my job properly. And
So you think it was overthinking at first?
Yeah.
All right.
And then I think I lived up to the name Brave Boy. Because I think people knew me from like primary school, and I was very quiet and shy and timid. And I feel like, I really lived up to the name. And in terms of my path in the international industry, like I dabble in so many genres. I'm a very daring person when it comes to my music. So I think that's why I changed it back to Brave Boy.
Excellent.
Awesome.
All right. So things going nice. We just want to put a pin in it, guys. You're watching Island Girl Talk. We're going to take a quick commercial break.
Hey, Mr. Gardener, give me one good reason why you work so hard. You say it's for your family, but I know it's a better price for security. System ain't right. The rules were made to ease your mind. So hey, Mr. Gardener, I'm hoping you're right, but give me a reason. Give me a reason to believe in heaven.
Now we celebrate. Celebrate with Caribbean. Whenever. Wherever. Whenever. Celebrate with Caribbean. Whenever. Wherever. Whenever. Celebrate with Caribbean. Now we celebrate.
Bay, tropical hard cider. Drink responsibly.
Welcome back to Island Girl Talk, guys. We're keeping it quick. I'm sure you never had a commercial break so short at Island Girl Talk, guys. Yeah. So we're back here and we're here with Brave Boy, the talented Brave Boy. He's been speaking about his journey so far and he's done quite a lot. But in your quite a lotness, I know you had some challenges, I'm sure, like all of us. And as humans, we kind of want to learn from people's mistakes. So tell us about, what were the challenges that you would have faced?
And how you overcame them.
So I think something I missed in your story, I'm a socialite. Like everybody, that's why I know my companies, I know everybody, consultants. Because at least within my age group, I literally knew everybody, right? And I think just being like, I guess like a popular guy, and being on the party scene, on committees, and then going and performing and people watching you, As a lot of people used to ask me, like, why are you doing this? Like, you're already established in terms of what Trinidad considers success, right? And for me, I love music, and I always wanted to do music. So I had to deal with that a lot. A lot of people used to be like, he don't look like an artist. Or when they're too familiar with you, they like, they would see you in Woodford Cafe performing or wherever performing, but just stand up and watch you, And I think that was tricky at first, and then also I always did different genres of music. So I would perform on a full soca cast and be the only rapper. This is before it had like the resurgence of rap and thing. So I think that was difficult. I really had to prove myself. I had to pick up Synergy because Synergy definitely is one of the first few platforms to really give me an opportunity to build my brand and stuff. And then also with Trap, so I think same thing happened again with myself, Young Rod and Mevon. People like, why are you doing rap in Trinidad? Why you do? I used to get the most, you look like a soca artist. So why you don't sing soca? So I think in terms of music in Trinidad, that's one of my biggest challenges. And I mean, like the challenges everybody else goes through, you have to fund. Music is very expensive. So I had to create my own business model to release a lot of music, and I figured I can share it with y'all if y'all want, but like,
heck yeah.
let them know because
and there's no knock to producers who charge a lot of money because they are different business situations, but I learned the art of bartering, and I was always real good at marketing. So because of that, when I would go to studios, the producers would want to work with me because they know if you do a song with me, it would kind of get out there.
Give them a push.
And I have my own networks. I was always good at marketing. I would always do some kind of a visual. And to this day, I do that. So like, I always barter. I mean, even if I pay, I never pay full price. Or I'll do splits. Now I do splits. So, we split it and I will pay for mixing and mastering. So there are different ways to do things.
That's how they do it in England. I spent a year in England in 2014 and in working with a few music execs. Nobody paid for anything. They called it favors for favors. And you do me a favor, I'll do you one in the future. And that's how that was the way to get
You scratch my back.
Yeah, that was the currency.
Just to add to that, I think it's the underlining thing there is the fact that you bring in something of value, because you can't barter if you're not bringing something that people see value in. Like even as you mentioned, like not having to pay for stuff. Me doing music as well, like I would trade my media stuff. So I would do like their bios and their press releases and stuff in exchange for like studio time, like when I'm working with different studios. So it also comes back to you bringing something of value that they see.
Of course, exactly. And a lot of big artists have done that. Like they started off bartering and but just back to challenges. I mean, I still go through it. I think me starting to focus more on the international market. A challenge I have now is staying relevant here in Trinidad, because I still care. I still love my country. I still, but then I have to decide, like staying relevant in Trinidad. I'm not trying to sing Zest. I'm not trying to sing Trinidad. I'm not trying to.
That's the thing with Trinidad.
So it's a little tricky, but and then in the international market, I think being authentic, I want to be as authentic as I can be to Trinidad and Tobago. But even with, our dialect, there's some issues with people understanding everything we say. So I've had to kind of shift that a bit, speak a little more proper on songs, or speak in a way that they understand everything I say. So I think everything, all aspects of the music industry are challenging. but it's about, and I think Neicy, you're asking how I maneuver, overcome. And I mean, I think I love to learn. I'm like a sponge. I always ask people questions. Anytime I meet somebody who I respect or who's senior in the industry to me or more experienced, I just ask them questions. I'm not afraid to ask questions. I always networking with people, you know. And yeah, that's how I learn. I just learn by trial and error.
Nice. All right, so we wanna steamroll this a little bit faster because we had to get into the topic of the day, and we eager to hear how you feel about what we're gonna talk about. So let's go through your next few questions. I want to know about your challenges that you faced in this local music industry. Quickly, if you can.
The quick challenges. I think, well, just people, you know, thinking at first I didn't look enough like an artist because, you know. Well, that's how I put so much effort in looking like an
whole
artist.
artist.
No, there's be like, when he feels he's a star or something, when you have one shade through the interview.
They thought it was a soca artist. They said they had a soca artist look, which I don't understand that.
Well, I think once
you said that before?
I think I would look the same. I would dress up. I wouldn't dress up as much because I always love fashion. Right? And I had to big up my first girl. I know we're talking girl talk. I had to big up my first girlfriend, Minta, for that because.
Big up Minta. Big up Minta.
Me like that.
I was very shy before.
Forget where you come from.
Yeah. No, she literally was like, listen, you're a tall, good-looking black man. Stand up strong, stand up tall.
Minta, big up you.
Big up Minta. And I think she was real into fashion. And I remember I learned the difference between wearing brands and wearing clothes and actually putting together outfits. Right. And I think a lot of fellas never get that lesson. So I had to big up Minta. Thank you for
nice.
Minta is sounding like the one who gets away, you know.
I wanna ask a question that's touching on the intentional move that you made recently and during a whole pandemic to really push in the international scene. You have dabbles over the years. We'd have had the collabs over the years. But Marcus Brave Boy meets World, featuring 12 global, producers, artists and stuff like that. I believe even told us that they had music featured on Netflix. You know?
Yeah.
So that move seemed like it's working for you.
And on video games too, right?
And video games as well.
You understand? Yeah. So tell us how that came about. Tell us, what was that process like? And we know that you still have releases coming because I have you on social media and every week is some new release, some new video, some new something. Yeah.
So the international stuff, it started, so I mentioned New York earlier, and I think New York just changed my scope in terms of not just thinking here. And I met people from all over the world, and there was this producer from Albania, that same Anya who I was co-managing, was working with, and then I would kick off in the studio and just sing, and he always found like I sound like Shaggy. He'd be like, you sound like Shaggy, and even after the project, he reached out and he wanted me to do a song with his girlfriend who was an artist from the Dominican Republic. And then through that, I ended up working with another producer and I ended up on this big pop artist album in Albania. Like this years ago. I didn't know nothing about the industry. I didn't sign nothing.
Yeah.
So that is out. The guy's name is Ardian Boyupi. And the name of the song I think was Caribbean or something. He spelled Caribbean wrong.
Yeah.
And I think over the years, slowly but surely, I started to realize I have an international voice. So while Trap So definitely solidified me here, I realized that in EDM, in pop, in all these genres, like that chanting, here we call it chanting, is gold away. We take it for granted. Yeah, men chanting in school, men chanting on the block, but they see that as, wow, how do you all do that? And I think I'm somebody who wasn't afraid to try and to network and. Sometimes people reach out to me, sometimes I reach out to people. With the video game stuff, they reached out to me. With the Netflix stuff, the person reached out to me, they heard me on an EDM track and they were like, we need somebody with your voice to do a bunch of songs. And, so yeah, and I mean, I just keep networking, and during the pandemic, I had time, and I was like, you know what, I always wanted to do a song in Spanish.
Oh, nice.
So I just tried it. Use Google Translate.
Nice.
You got you with it?
Yeah. I'll big up our friend Nalini. Big up my friend Nalini. She definitely helped me a lot with because you could translate something on Google.
And it does,
and it don't make sense.
Yeah.
So
because
she's
they
like, don't say that.
translate word for word, not the entire phrase. Trust me.
Yeah. So she really helped me a lot. And the pronunciation and stuff, she really helped. So big up Nalini. Tell them.
Yeah. So who wants to go next?
I had one of the questions I also wanted to ask you is, outside of what you're doing right now in terms of music? Because I hear you talk about clients and different things. So we kind of want to get in your business now.
Yeah.
So what are the things you do outside of music?
Okay, so social media marketing as after my business, I Consulting Limited. I mean, I wouldn't call myself a promoter because I don't do big fets on it, but I definitely did like club nights. I did Roscoe's for 2 years on a Saturday, myself and my boy Mikey. I did Unplugged and Chill with Young Rod.
I remember that.
Yeah,
I think I performed.
Neicy performed there. Nyla performed.
Yes.
We have
You know, Krystal came. I remember Krystal. Krystal came through.
Yeah, vibe though, because y'all introduced a lot of, y'all gave a lot of up and coming Trini artists. That
that was big. I did that too.
That was really big.
You say you was there?
No, you came and remember you came and support.
At Kaiso Blues. Yeah, Unplugged and Chill.
Yeah.
Wow, how we forgot that.
Yeah.
I remember now.
Yes, I know your website too. Addicted to Progress.
Addicted to See how I was saying.
Yeah.
I have a clothing line called Addicted to Progress, which should be relaunched soon, rebranding right now. That was a whole interesting story too, because that was just a BBM status that turned into a t-shirt, that turned into pop-up sales, that turned into a store in town, turned into Marshall wearing the t-shirt, turned into Bungie wearing the hat, you know, and it was insane.
It's a good catchphrase, a good slogan.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people could resonate.
You know?
Yeah. Everybody addicted to Progress.
Yeah.
We try to be.
We try to be.
We try to be.
But I think that covers everything. I mean, I do a lot of other stuff casually, like I started consulting a bit in the entertainment industry because I'm learning a lot, and I know a lot of people want to learn as well. So try my best to, consult.
Yeah, in that sense, yeah.
So we heard that you have some new music out with an artist out of LA called Baddie Jean.
Baddie Jean.
Yes, and it was produced by Casey Phillip from Precision Productions. Tell us about it. I checked it out. She bad and should
She bad and should big up Baddie Jean. So, I mean, Casey has been my friend for a long time. He actually was the first main producer on Anya's project.
Okay.
And yeah, like Casey and I just talk about music business a lot, and we just never worked. We never worked, and he always keeps me in mind because he knows I'm doing this international stuff. And yeah, he just messaged me one day. He's like, he working with this artist in LA, Baddie Jean, and he down to do something. I was like, yeah, no sin. And I spoke to Baddie, and she's awesome. She's real cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice man. What's the name of this song though that you did with Baddie Jean?
It's called Upside Down.
Upside Down.
Yeah.
I think I added it to our playlist. Your
Serious?
audience, you will be hearing it, on Island Girl Talk.
I've never heard it, so I actually want to hear it.
I went and I added it.
And you had to watch the music video,
Yeah. That's how I know she looking bad.
Yeah.
Bad like that. So what new projects are you working on? I know you mentioned that you have a new release. It's a remake of the Super Blue Bacchanal.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting.
Yeah.
Right? With a Latin American producer named Alex Mura.
Alex Mura.
All right.
Mura.
All right. What made you choose Bacchanal Time by Super Blue? Tell us about that whole thing as quickly as you can.
Yeah, as quickly. So, I mean, I am in love with 90s soca. That's the soca I grew up on.
Bacchanal time.
Even as a teenager, I always heard, are you ready to go home? No. Are you ready to go? And I always felt like when I used to party and club a lot, I used to just look at the call and response songs that like Lil Jon was doing. Yeah. And I was like, yo, this is that kind of song. And, I never got an opportunity to do it locally, and then when I was in Miami, myself and Alex were talking about sampling Latin songs and Caribbean songs, and I wanted to sample Blazer Dance, Be Mine Tonight. So I started to sing that. And I know that I'm not the best singer. I could chant. And then I just started to sing, Are You Ready to Go Home? No. And he's like, yo, what's that? And then he started to make a beat it. And he's like, bro, this is gold. So we had to go through the process of clearing it, through the publishers and stuff. We got the approval like 3 or 4 months after we applied, and we just released it.
Very nice.
So when we end up, we could do that one to the zoo or not?
Up to you, yeah.
I thought I looked online and I didn't see it. So I was like, maybe he didn't release it yet.
No, so it's now, he sent me the link to it. It's on all streaming platforms now.
No.
Okay.
But
So
it's definitely on
exclusive.
Spotify. It's definitely on Spotify.
All right,
So
we'll check it
exclusive
out.
stuff. Exclusive
We
stuff.
shall check it out. All right, cool. Okay, tell us about Anchor.
Anchor? So, this is a song that was produced. The guy who produced that song is 17 years old.
Damn.
From Germany.
Well, I know the young people have it.
From Germany, 17. And I think, so it's interesting. In the world of EDM, young producers look at me as a big artist, which is so interesting for me because I do not consider myself a big artist, right? I always,
Take a page from Neicy, but you're a whole celebrity.
I think I'm upcoming, right?
Out here.
And he reached out to me and he was like, bro, would you do an EDM song, new whatever? And what I would do, I charge to be on tracks. But if it's a young person, I'm like, you know what? Either was your budget, or if, I'll just be like, all right, I'll do it. But do you have any other beats, other genres? And he sent me the anchor beat. I was like, yo, that's real bad. So I don't know if y'all heard it, but there's actually a female voice on it. And it's a sample, as in like a splice sample. So producers could sample vocals. So it's not like an actual singer I collaborated with.
Yeah.
So I wrote the song around the sample.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was fun. That was like a fun process.
Okay.
Nice.
So much information to
I
dive
know.
into.
But we had to get into the topic of the day.
Yeah.
But
So we go pop in.
lastly, before we go, we just want to ask you to give the young ones coming up some advice, what they can look out for, what have you learned, and then tell everyone how they can find you on social media.
No problem. Well, I always say your network is your net worth. And I believe, this industry is becoming, unfortunately, less about talent only. It's about marketability and networking. It's who you know and how you present yourself. So I think that just, try and meet as many people as possible. Keep those links there for a rainy day.
Yes.
Also, just learn as much as possible. All the information is online. I wish the information that the youths have now I had 10 years ago. And I'm a Grammy by now.
It's still coming. It's still coming.
Yes.
Yeah, it did. I seen it.
Yeah, man. And now tell everyone how they can find you
Yes,
online.
so on social, on Instagram, it's at Braveboy, BRAVEBOY. And on everything else, it's at Real Braveboy, REALBRAVEBOY.
Yes, I. Well, guys, that is it in a nutshell. We wish we could delve in some more, but it's time to talk about it. We gotta pick your mind. You know what I mean?
But we get some good juice there from him,
Yeah,
though.
man, we did. Guys,
a lot.
Brave Boy in the house. We excited.
Looking like a full
Right?
artist.
I'm taking your advice, me and you going to talk after.
Yeah. Better we call mentor too, So
Big up Minta, big up Minta.
All right, guys. So before we get into the topic of the day, you know how to turn to the chat room they've been looking on. We have Cyan Burbal saying, good afternoon, ladies, sending love out to the three of you. I will answer the question I am seeing we are discussing today one time. Right? She's going to answer. She said, I personally think a woman has the right to choose a better man. Well, all right. We will get into it, Saya. We shall. Then she goes on to say, reason being, she will know what makes her comfortable. We as women look for someone to build and grow with in the future. We don't like wasting time knowing that an individual is not ready to step up.
Yeah.
All right. She ain't wasting no time. She gets into it.
We can sift through those two and come back to those one.
Yes.
Topic.
We have Krystal Field saying, pleasant afternoon, beauties. Just
Hello.
saying hi. Just saying hi. Got some important issues at hand to deal with. Hope you all have a great session. As always, much love. We have Tanisha Cyrus, Neicy's sister, saying, good evening, ladies. Looking wonderful. Logged in and listening. Big up you, Tanisha. We have Marv Monty saying, blessed and safe day to all logged in and in attendance. We have Dennis Allen saying, to answer the question, yes, short show today. Bye. One side, Dennis.
Gone.
Right? He also says, hey, all you need to yak over there.
Yo, stop making that joke.
Because Lord, you know,
I have a very bad
I've
cough.
been waiting to make that joke. But
you'll test it and she's like,
hey, look how we could laugh at this now.
This is not funny. This is not funny.
Listen, if you dead, all of we dead, girl. All right,
Paper was like, yo, what am I sitting in?
No, I like the vibes.
I swear. Yo, I had to say it. It was just itching to come out.
And Neicy's like, that's not funny. Krystal. People will take you seriously.
Oh my God, it's just a flu. So, okay, we're going to continue. Dennis says, hey, look, my brethren, mans have more snacks than a party bag.
That's Dennis. That's Tay. That's Tay is my basketball coach from CIC.
Oh, wow.
Big up Tay. Big up Tay.
We have Fire Wolfman saying, greetings, everyone, blessed day. And he goes on to say, 2 guys' perspective in 1 month, we get through.
That's Marlon.
Yeah. And then Katie
Marlon.
C says, hey, Katie. She says, hey, Queens. Hey, listeners. Marcus, blow.
Slatey.
She says she
Big
do
up
any of Marcus
Slatey.
Brave Boy sound. She don't know how to spell it. What you do? Blow. She goes on to say, not going to lie, Marcus's work ethic inspires and pushes me. I sometimes ask myself, what would Marcus do? Wait.
Thank you, Slatey.
And she put WWMD. What would Marcus do? Hashtag W. Okay, all right.
Big up Katie.
We have Fire Wolfman again saying Marcus really is a boss. Big up.
Big up my Marlon used to play basketball in as well. And CIC, yeah, he's like we on the basketball team.
It's a whole crew.
Yeah.
Carrie Ann Bernard is in the house saying hi,
Hey,
everyone.
Carrie.
Just stopped to say hi. I miss you all. We miss you too.
Aww.
She said hi, Katie C. Then we have someone new, Kirsten G. She says, hi, everyone. Greetings from Orlando.
Hi.
Been watching for a few weeks, but I've been quiet. Love watching you ladies.
Nice.
Awesome.
Big up you,
Thank
Kirsten.
you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Carrie Ann says, big up y'all. We getting new ones as I speak. Larry J says, big up to Brave Boy from a fellow 90s soca junkie. And lastly, we have Johan Ragu saying, appreciate you, bro. You inspire me. And that's it for
Blessings,
now.
my brother.
All right, guys, let's get into it one time. No more sticking. Long anticipated. As you know, guys, today's topic is... Ha boy. Picking better men. Mm-hmm. Is it solely the woman's responsibility?
Debater.
Dun, dun, dun. And as you know, it's guys' perspective. So we're going to turn it over to Marcus one time. We want to pick his brain. We want to see what he thinks. Because we have our opinions. We have our, we're going to explore here and there. We're not going to...
view, yeah.
Yes, but we want to hear what Marcus has to say. And guys, if you have a point, you have an opinion, call us 466-4-O-U-R, 466-4687.
Yeah.
All right? We have the phone charging. So we...
You guys are excited because I feel like it has so many.
You just said a roll today.
We have the phone charging. So you call. All right. Marcus, is it the woman's sole responsibility to pick better men? The reason for this topic today, guys, just to give you all a little bit of perspective, is in most domestic, now it have many ways we could look at this, but we come in from an angle of most times in domestic abuse situations, right? Even though the woman is the victim and she going through something, we always quick to blame the woman. Well, why she stay or this or that, or she should have picked a better man or even, and not to get political, but this is a fact. Even our prime minister once said it on air, women need to pick their men better. And it caused a little bit of an outrage because it puts so much of the onus and the responsibility on the woman. Like it totally takes away the responsibility from the man. Like the man not responsible for what he does. That ain't cool, in my opinion. So that's kind of the angle we are.
Whole opinion.
Right? So that's where we're coming from. In those instances where things go awry in a relationship, why is it always a woman pick your man better?
So I'll start to say, I think as a man, I've matured a lot with my perspective on that. And I think most men, especially younger men, are of the view that why, like, I don't mean to say like this, but they'll be like, why women so stupid? Why women just go with this fella? Yeah. But I think I have a lot of female friends and I always listen to what they say. And from the stories that they give me, a lot of men pretend. That's one thing. So a lot of men, it's false advertising.
Marketed.
False advertising. So I feel like a lot of men pretend. Human beings are good at pretending to be something else in the initial stages. And I think it's only when you live with somebody over a few years. So like if you're in a long distance relationship, if you're not living with the person, you don't see how that person is all the time. Some men are so good at pretending that they pretend for the first few years of marriage. You don't even know what's going on. They live in a double life. And so I was just to say, but you never saw the early signs. You never realized that he did this or do that. But I think some men play the game so well that I learned that it definitely isn't always, it's not solely the woman's fault and it's not always the woman's fault. That's one side of things. And I think as a man, and this is something I really had to learn. So as fellas, we have this way, even good fellas, right, will say like, once you're honest with a woman, that is okay. Like if she get feelings for, if she get hurt, that is her fault because I telling her the truth. I don't want to be in a relationship and you catching feelings, that is your fault. Yeah. But I think it took some maturity for me as a man and just conversations with women that to make me realize that men have a role to play there too, because trauma is real. And I think that a lot of human beings, I don't want to just say women, but men and women have a lot of trauma. They have a lot of traumatized people walking around hurting each other. And I think I realized that as a man, I don't want to add to anybody's trauma. So as a guy, if I see a woman who I feel, even if I'm honest with her and tell her that, I don't want to be in a relationship, actions speak louder than words. And I have an ex-girlfriend who was able to school me on that. She's like, you know what, Marcus, like, actions speak louder than words. So, those are two perspectives I'll give there just to start. So men, we could do better. And also, too, like trauma is real, and I think a lot of people need to do therapy and need to be open about what they went through in their childhood, teenage years, past relationships, etc.
Well said, Marcus. We have people already agreeing with you in the chat room. We have Marla and Jito saying Brave Boy for the win. We have Sai and Birbal saying I agree with Brave Boy with people pretending and that kind of stuff. We have Marlon again saying big up yourself, bro. Right? And he just covered several of the points that we had today. You know what I mean? It's true because, I mean, if it is that a man wants a woman, right? And he real wants you, and he seems like a decent fella, but he knows what he wants. He doesn't see what he wants to accomplish with you. Yeah. Whether it's well-intentioned or not, right? He is going to play that game. He's going to play that long game. And he's going to be everything that you want in a man. And once he thinks that he has you in a pocket, maybe I've seen it with my own eyes, not from personal experience, but I've seen my friends go through it. I've seen family members go through it. He gets you in a pocket where you're more or less dependent on him. Yeah. He starts to change. Not all men, but a lot of them do that. What is the woman to do? If, like you said, Marcus, in the first few years, this man is doing everything he's supposed to do, being there for you, taking care of your eventual kids, you know what I mean? Being a good helpmate. And then 7 years in, while you're married and saying, and this man just started to hit you. Is the woman fault? Yeah,
and I think, definitely not, and I think, but what I've also learned is the signs are there, It's just you're blinded by other things, And I mean, Trinidad real smaller, so it's one of those things you could do you could do background checks on people. But sometimes even with that, like I know women who, they know this guy's a player, you know this guy does beat girls, you know this guy does, and you heard that he did this to ex-girlfriends, and you still go there because you feel you could be the one to change it. And sometimes I realize that's psychological. Maybe that would have been something you've seen mom or aunt or granny, experience with a man. So I think that it's deep rooted. I think that like in most instances, from what I've seen, the lack of belief that this person is a bad person comes from
toxic familiarity is what they call it.
Yes, So it's very tricky. It's really tricky. But I do feel that these signs are there in a lot of instances.
That's a good point, because one of our speaking points was pay attention to like the red flags. What I wanted to add here in like the context of the conversation and something that Mark said earlier in terms of yes, it's on us to kind of pick better, right? But when you mention the stuff with the trauma, most of the times women, it's not that he picking better, it's like to understand where you picking from, like what place with it.
That's exactly what he's speaking about,
because in your mind you could be thinking you're whole and heal, you're not seeing the blind spots within you, and you picking from that place. So even like Krystal mentioned, over a period of time, then somebody changes and then you're there. I've seen instances where a guy didn't even have to wait years, didn't have to pretend for years. A couple of months he show you a version of him, and when he changed, like say 3 months in, you still going back to how it was in month number one. You're still stuck on the month number one, and you're there now years later still trying to get back to that place of how he treated you from the first month.
And I would say, like, from talking to female friends, abusers, they have a process. They will as I say, they get that trust from you, isolate you from your friends and family.
Yes.
And then
It's a
They
pattern.
pounce, yeah.
and then when you receiving the abuse, you start to question yourself. You say, maybe I am doing something wrong.
So
maybe
you try
I
to
did
change
something.
you.
Yeah.
You try to change because it comes back to like what's within you that's pulling that to you and thinking that it's okay.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
So not just picking better, but picking from a healthier place holistically. Picking from a better place.
Yeah. Well, I definitely agree with that point, Neicy. And you know, Brave Boy said the same exact thing. You're picking things that you're familiar to, you know, and that's why I said toxic familiarity, because these are toxic traits that you are drawn to. And you really have to do better as people. But before we continue with the conversation,
would you say that toxic familiarity would be based or rooted in childhood?
Yeah.
In your childhood and your upbringing as well? Because if you, like I read online, if you, let's be talking about women, so you grew up with a father who might either be not emotionally available, a little too available as in sexual harassment, or just physically not there. And that influences the type of man that you choose, because I read that your sexually opposite parents, you tend to choose people with their traits.
Yeah.
You know
Whether
what I mean?
consciously or unconsciously.
That's right.
Yeah.
And sorry.
And I think I could say from personal experience now, the kind of man my father is, I feel that's why I'm single, because nobody good enough that I'm trying to find somebody who I think, in my opinion, exhibits the kind of characteristics or traits that my dad has. Nobody coming close, dog.
Yeah. It
And
happens.
I think that is why people say, Krystal, you're too picky.
Yeah.
Yeah, picky because I'm trying to find somebody who decent like my father.
Yeah.
I'm not finding that.
That's a whole next conversation.
Yeah.
With people friends.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to add to that also, in the sense that should women pick better or should men do better? I kind of want to play devil's advocate, if you must. I think the two are not related. And I think that when you say women should pick better, it is a good message that we should. Of course, they have the outside situations with domestic abuse. Of course, we're not saying no to that. But I think it's a good message that we should still live up to, as well as, should men be better? Of course they should. Women should be better. It's also a great message, right? And I think they are both strong messages standing on their own that are not necessarily related. And I say, let me give a better example, because I don't feel like I explain it properly. But let's use this as an example. I hate to use this as an example, but Black Lives Matter was a movement. And there's a purpose for Black Lives Matter, right? And of course, you know, our black people went through so much injustice and we had so many struggles from the past, and that's why we have this movement. But then somebody counteracts it with All Lives Matter.
Yeah.
Of course, All Lives Matter. It's also a positive message, but does All Lives Matter right now?
Yeah.
Like, you're trying to take away from the point that
Yes.
we're talking
Well
about Black
said.
Lives
Well
Matter.
said, yeah.
We're not, Spanish people had struggles, Chinese people had struggles, so many people have struggles. And yes, we care about them, but in this moment, the message is Black Lives Matter.
Because that's
So-
the demographic that is
That-
experiencing the
the
hardship.
issue at
It
this
came
point.
off of actual issues that's happening presently
Right.
that is targeted at Black lives.
Yeah,
That's right.
So to come back to the point, I agree that women should pick better, and I also agree that men should be better, but so should women, and so should everybody else. So that's what I'm saying. I don't think that the two.
I know the conversation going really good, but I think we need to take a quick break.
We're going to take a quick break. We're going to go to commercial.
But definitely, we want to hear what you guys saying in the comments. So
Yes.
stay tuned.
Now we celebrate. Celebrate with Caribbean. Whenever, wherever, whenever. Celebrate with Caribbean. Whenever, wherever, whenever. Celebrate with Caribbean. Now we celebrate. Celebrate with Caribbean.
Caribbean Tropical Hard Cider. Drink responsibly.
Let's put this pen to this paper and make magic happen. Get ready, get set, cause we're about to go with the flow. slow. Just want you to know this time I'm coming mellow. So let's go to the place where nobody knows where we can escape the pain and all the mistakes we made. Yeah. Where we can escape the pain and all the mistakes we made. Yeah. We look at the sunrise and when it sets, we party till the moon dies with no regrets. Some people get upset when I sing with my eyes closed, but that's how they know that I'm singing here with my soul. And I got some people here ringing up on my home phone saying you got this, man, just let the words flow. Cause the beauty's in the lyrics. That's why I took my time to write this and recite this and ignite this fire. To let the flames burn brighter. Cause we all got that power. Given to us by the Creator. So thank you for all the love, man, I really need it. And thanks for the support, I appreciate it. But I have faith that I'll make it. So let's go to this place where nobody knows where we can escape the pain and all the mistakes we made. Yeah. Where we can escape the pain and all the mistakes we made. Yeah. Come on. Where we can escape the pain and all the mistakes we made. Yeah. All the mistakes we made. Yeah. Where we can escape the pain and all the mistakes we made. Yeah. Come on, just smile, be free. One time. Come on, just smile for me. One time. Can I get a smile, please? Come on, just.
Now we celebrate. Celebrate with Caribbean. Whenever, wherever, whenever. Celebrate with Caribbean. Whenever, wherever, whenever. Celebrate with Caribbean. Now we celebrate. Celebrate with Caribbean.
Caribbean Tropical Hard Cider. Drink responsibly.
Welcome back to Island Girl Talk. I am Shawna. We have
Krystal, Khayne in the house.
Neicy. And
Yo, brave boy.
he's himself. Right, so like I said, guys, we're trying some new things where we have the ads running at a specific time, and we liking the vibe so far, right? So we're getting back into the juicy conversation.
Yes, you're talking about Black Lives Matter.
Yeah. So basically, the last point I was trying to make is I do believe that men should be better, and I do believe that women should pick better. And I was also just trying to say that we shouldn't use one to make the other point seem less. Like both of the points are important, right? So anybody have anything to add to that? Or?
Yeah, so as an amazing point, Shawna, and I think that when I think communication between men and women is difficult about these topics.
Yeah.
Because I can speak for the fellas here.
Yeah.
Sometimes when we bring up men do better and that kind of stuff and give our experiences, I actually did a clubhouse chat on this for guys. And some of my female friends came on and took over the conversation. Right? And that's what I'm saying, like sometimes with communication, men tend to kind of box it, like, they kind of close in, or they run away from the conversation because women tend to be very emotional, understandably, right? So I just say that I agree with you. I think it's too different.
Boy, talk your mind. Now we like to know the truth. We deserve to know the truth because as women, like you said, we're emotional and we don't always speak from a fully logical place. So if you have any points to share, you feel free to share them.
I mean, people, women sometimes think that men don't go through anything.
Yeah.
That's not true.
And I think that I would say especially being like a young black man, I think that there's so much generational trauma. There's so much pressure on society to tell you what a man is. You have to be tough. You have to do this. Don't cry. Don't do this. Don't. So I think that especially black men going into relationships have a hard time communicating and have a hard time with certain things. Could be the way like a woman speaks to them or the way, and I think that they just don't know how to communicate it, and they bottle it in. And sometimes, I'm just saying, sometimes I feel like that's where the lashing out comes in, which is not right. But I just say that men do go through stuff that's not addressed, trauma-wise.
I agree.
I want to.
go Neicy.
No, Chris. I want to hear you. I want to hear my Chris.
No, it's something that I read online, and I don't think anybody brought up this as a point.
Right.
But someone said that when it comes down to it, the onus or the choice is really the woman's choice whether or not a relationship goes forward. At the beginning, I mean. So, for example, a man might think he chose the woman. You see Neicy from across the room. You're going in for the kill. You like Neicy. You know that you have something to bring to the table. Neicy should theoretically like you too. But he can step to Neicy. Neicy can very well find him attractive, but it's not going to go a step further unless Neicy gives her consent. Unless Neicy say, all right, I like you too. Why not? Let's go out on a date or something. So that's the point that they were making.
Something
right?
Really
Ollie, I think we're getting a call, you know.
Wait, they have
I'm coming off the screen for a minute.
We call charges. We call charges.
I hear.
We miss it. Whoever calling, call back. We want to hear. We want to hear. Whoever calling, call back.
It's Kyle. It's Kyle.
And Kyle has some good pertinent points. I wanted to add.
On the Bluetooth.
Yeah.
Go on, Neicy.
I wanted to add a point, and it's to be a Jesus advocate.
Right.
Right. Let me take it back to like foundational, right? So we're talking about decision, we're talking about choice, and like not to be quoting to that extent, but even the Bible say a man's supposed to find a wife.
Right.
I think the issue to some extent, and this is my opinion,
Well,
men
Kyle
out here.
calling.
Pop in on it. Pin a pin.
That's why we wasn't hearing it. It was on silence. So hold on, Kyle. Hold on. And then I said, I don't know. Okay, yeah.
Thumbs up. We ready to go?
Is it on?
We inside?
Kyle, welcome to Island Girl Talk.
Oh, shucks.
Oh, God. Look, Ananias, I can't work this. Kyle, hold on.
Yeah, we need some patience. We're still learning this.
It's about time I learn how to work that phone.
Yes.
Kyle, are
Technology
you there?
101.
Welcome to Island
Yes.
Girl Talk.
Yes. Hello?
Hey, hi. Yeah, oh, you know, hear me now?
Yes.
Hi. Oh, so yeah, good afternoon, everybody, ladies.
Hi.
Yo.
And hi. Yeah, so I'll be quick. I know all they're doing real good for time. Congrats on that.
Thank
So, yeah, you're doing right. So to build on Brief Boy's point about pretending, it's about another factor to consider where people genuinely change or grow, right? As individuals. Sometimes a woman might be in school when they were entering a relationship, university, right? And when she graduates now, she starts to make more money than the man.
Yes.
And that now triggers, a sort of aggression or a jealousy in the relationship. But he wasn't pretending. It just happened as they grew.
Yeah.
They kind of grew apart as the relationship go forward. But let me offer one possible solution, right? Counseling all that.
Counseling.
I mean professional counseling. I'm not telling anybody a business. I mean going to as individuals, because I think Brave Boy and three of you will touch on it. Levels of trauma that people walking around with and hurt people, right?
Yeah.
So what I think, there are so many people graduating with psychology degrees, social science degrees. You got to put them to work, right? And $100 PT to $300 PT per hour is a huge investment that could potentially save you from a lifetime of pain.
Yes.
And counseling could happen not only as an individual, but what people think is that because you're not married, you can't go for marriage counseling.
Yeah.
But if the ultimate goal for a relationship is marriage, then, oh gosh, you find out the problems or potential problems early before it begins.
Yes.
And I'll end it there. All right, y'all, thanks for your time.
Kyle, big up you, Kyle.
Very good point.
Thank you so much.
With my new favorite word, very pertinent. But
Kyle, thank you so much.
I just wanted to continue with the point I was making, and this was brought up in a conversation I was having recently with a friend. It's like a man out here looking for even if men out here and they're dating different types of women, when they're ready to settle down, they're looking for a woman with wife attributes. Unfortunately, women picking men, and they're not picking men who want to be a husband. Right. So when you get in a relationship, certain qualities and traits that comes together with what you bring in and what the guy bring in to kind of set up a really solid, healthy foundation for roles dynamic and stuff for us moving forward. It's not there. So you might be in relationships, and I'm not leaning heavily on this, like the men's side, but I'm just giving my lens, is like you have women who in relationships probably trying to be a wife, trying to bring those qualities to the setting, and a man not there with trying to be a husband.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So even though with the picking, it comes back down to what are you picking and what are you picking for? Because you could be dating just for casually dating, but I think most of the times people get in a relationship, I would like to think is, they're trying to go to marriage and family and stuff like that. So if you're not thinking on that level and you're just thinking casual, then it says where you're entering, where your headspace is when you're entering. But if you're looking at a guy, he might be nice, he might have some nice ways, but when you're thinking husband and long term, it has certain attributes that goes with that. And if you're not seeing that now, you're gonna stick around hoping that it show up one day magically.
And well, something I'll add to that point. That's a good point, Neicy. And I think that social media has definitely built in men and women's mind this is what a woman should be, this is what a man should be. So I speak from a male's perspective, like you're on social media and just see girls twerking and just see like, and as a guy, like especially in Trinidad, there's like a lot of carnival events and stuff. I've seen female friends try to do that more to try to get attention from guys, thinking that's what men want. But men want, that's I'm not saying men don't want that, but as you mentioned, like most men, when they think of a wife, don't want them particularly marketed like that. So it gets tricky, but I just saying, like in a man's brain, sometimes it's confusing because you want a man like your mom, with qualities like your mom, or qualities with somebody like you, right? Or like, but then social, and then from the female perspective, I see that everything is bad bitch this, or like you want a baller, or baddies, and and you look at men are now marketed as a man supposed to only provide for a woman, and I only want a baller, and if you don't have this and this, he's not my kind of man. So I think we kind of social media is kind of
what's all over the place.
What's all over the place. That's what we want now.
I would like to just play devil's advocate here with regard to the point that Neicy made. Now, which is a good point. Coronavirus. Sorry, I digress. Yes. So, the point here is, I mean, it's a great point. I agree with it. But that is if the end goal here is marriage, right? What about those couples whose end game is not marriage, but they still want a strong and steady long-term, possibly forever relationship? Because I know some very successful people in very successful relationships, and they're not married. They're together for 20 plus years. Marriage is not on the agenda. And there are people like me who not running down marriage. I don't think marriage is the ultimate end goal or symbol of success in a relationship, right? I just think a healthy relationship, raising children in a healthy fashion, you don't always have to go with societal norms and that kind of thing. Make up your own rules as long as it is healthy for both people involved. So what about people like that? Because it gives credence to the opposite of what you're saying being the bad thing. It's not necessarily the bad thing if they don't get married. The whole idea is to have a healthy, happy, what's the word I'm looking for?
Relationship.
Equal, balanced relationship.
But I think we're saying the same thing whether it comes in the context of a marriage, because the key word that you're using is healthy.
I wanted to just clarify that now.
Yeah. Because even if you think in long-term partnership and we're doing this without the title of a marriage or whatnot, right? That might be somebody's personal choice, but the key word there is healthy. And for us to even get healthy, it has certain qualities that healthy just goes hand in hand with.
That's right.
So even in the picking or being chosen to get the healthy end result, two of us can show up unhealthy and get healthy. It don't work like that. So you had to know what you're looking for, what healthy looks like to you, and vice versa. And most of the times we look at things just in the now, and as Mark mentioned earlier, women thinking they could change men. Men, I don't even know, do men try to change women? Even we take guy turn around with a yes.
But sometimes not in the healthiest way, because I think most issues, like men try to tell women what to wear. And that's control.
The kind of control dynamic.
You hit a nerve there, boy, brave boy. You hit a nerve there.
Next topic.
Yeah, so I just wanted to say, like, if you know where you're going, for instance, like if you jump in the car, we know we heading to Maracas, we know what the route to Maracas look like. You can't be going down south and thinking we're going to end up in Maracas if you're going that way. Same thing like a relationship. If you know in a relationship what healthy feels like to you, what healthy looks like to you, you're not going to pick up somebody who's not even looking like that or showing you anything like that and then say we go get there eventually. I think that is where the picking and being picked comes into play. You had to know what you're picking, not what you hope to pick or what you think it should be when you pick. What are you picking right now, and does that person even have the attributes to change? Because not everybody willing to change. You might tell somebody, wants, or he might say it with his mouth, but is he doing the work to change? Is he going to therapy? If he even not self-aware to say, I have this issue and I'm willing to work on it. You understand? Change is intentional.
Well said. I just wanted to make sure that you wasn't selling an idea where marriage is the only, you know? All right, Shawna.
Healthy. The keyword healthy.
You have something to add, or I could go ahead?
I'm interested in finding
you go ahead.
Demand and supply.
You go ahead.
I'm going to some economics here. I think in terms of the dating pool and men and women, and this is kind of might be a slight controversial thing to say, but I feel like the demand and supply is kind of unequal for men and women, right? So I feel like women want a good man. Not to be confused with a nice guy.
Right.
Because women don't necessarily like the nice guy. They like the good guy, right? And I feel like there's a limited pool of dateable good men. Not just in Trinidad and in the world and stuff. And that sometimes the dateable good men have options, and the idea of having options to a man could go to our head in a different way. As in, I have all these options. And I think that naturally women want to not marry necessarily, as Krystal was saying, but want to settle down. It's kind of, like you're nurtured to marriage kids or settle down kids. And guys, sometimes there are a bunch of guys now who kind of confuse as to what they want. And that's why I say, like, the honesty is important. And I wouldn't say it's partially pretending, but I think people need to communicate where they are. And I think that's not happening. And if you like somebody, you might kind of be like, you know what, I like this person.
First impression,
let me see if it could work. And I think we have a lot of that happening too. And then years into it, somebody realizes, I'm really not happy with this person. I'm really not happy with this person.
And then that's just life.
And that's just life.
And we talk as though... Sorry, Sean, you go.
Yeah, because as he mentioned when he called in just now, he said sometimes it's not always like, because we're so emotional, we're seeing it from a lens of, they changed. But as he called in and he said, sometimes we just grow apart and people end up wanting different things in life. And as humans, we have to recognize that we don't own anybody. We are on a journey together, and the journey could take us together or it can take us apart. And yes, it would hurt, but we just have to kind of accept it for what it is, you know?
And the power of choice, and as Mark mentioned, being honest, like being willing to really be honest. Sometimes you say stuff and you're trying to figure out the best way to say it. Or you're trying to not step on toes. Sometimes it's just that raw honesty. So even to the point when you reach that as you said, the transition where it mightn't be making sense
anymore.
You're honest enough to have that conversation, and who knows? Let me figure out, okay, is this something we could rectify, or do we really have to go our separate ways?
And something that could be real tricky conversation between men and women is the conversation of sex. Like, I think that men and women don't openly discuss sex. Like what pleases who and what I like. And sometimes a man could create insecurities in a man if a woman says that, if you could do this a little more, and I think that those things, that's why, as my brother was saying, like, I think therapy is important now, because if you do that in front of a therapist, a man might be a little more open to communicating, So I say ego is a hell of a thing, for both sexes,
And I keep reiterating this point: when problems arise, it's not me versus you or you versus me, it's us versus whatever the issue is. So once we have that stance where we are a team, we know we in this, we still trying to make sure that whatever the result is, both of us feel, we being heard and feel like we getting what we need to get out of this, and we dealing with the issue as a united front.
So do you all think that women understand men? Do you all think you all understand men?
I don't know about all women, but I do.
I think, we can't speak for all women, let's be real. I think emotions blind women. If I speak in generally, I think emotions blind women a lot, and I think they want to understand, but sometimes emotions come and play, and then sometimes it's just irrational. You know what their expectations are. Sometimes it doesn't even make sense.
Right.
So I'm not dissing a woman because I'm a woman myself, but you know I understand. You know how
just
men
to
could feel
add to
at
what
times.
Shawna is saying. Go ahead, Neicy.
I think no. I think for me, trying to understand man has been a very intentional journey for me at this stage in my life. Right? Before I thought I understood, but I was understanding men based on how I understand women. So for instance, like you want to go shopping and you pull your dude along, he don't want to be there. And if you understand man, he would know better you call your girlfriend to go shopping. He don't want to be there. You're understanding them through the lens of how you understand yourself as a woman. So now trying to understand, it's very intentional. It's like I put myself in the school of men to understand men. Like when you ask a question, you might ask us a question and it might be like we say one thing, but a lot of stuff that we supposed to say we ain't say. A man when he say A is A, so we might be like, what you really mean? And he just tell you what he mean, but you like, nah, I feel it more because you know when they tell you something or they ask you something, you say and you have all of this still to say. You understand? So it's a process for me.
So basically, Neicy just proved my point. What I was gonna say. My point is what I was gonna make is, I believe I personally understand men, right? But women in general need to learn how to departmentalize or you separate certain things, which you kind of said. And if a man says something, it is something. Don't look for all the cracks and the crevices and the loopholes and the this and the that. That is aggravate men. Don't do that. You know what I mean? Take things at face value, and if you suspect something, just his routine, just the way he moves, you will get the signs. The signs that something is wrong will always reveal itself, because if a man is cheating on you or doing something he's not supposed to do, something will change in his practical routine. You understand? He mightn't want to touch you a certain way again. He mightn't respond to you a certain way again. His routine might change a little bit. There are certain things, there are certain, you don't have to go and pushing.
But Chris, I think too that you are very experienced. Because and I'm just saying because in your situation you would have had it is common sense. You would think it's common sense, but I recognize that
I do have experience. I learned, I burned.
Right, and apart from burning, your dad is like in your life.
Yeah, you have a real good example.
But that's why I feel I know that I understand men.
So
my father's schoolmate.
Schoolmate. That's what I'm saying. So you kind of have that advantage. And sometimes we look at things and we think it's common sense, but for some people, they genuinely don't know.
But the experience thing was, but the experience point is more correct, because I have made mistakes. Like I've done the stupidness. I've done the crap. You know what I mean? I've hurt and have been hurt. You know what I mean? So I just think now, whoever get me, get through it.
But was it an intentional thing, Chris? It sounds very intentional. Like where you're at right now seems like in an intentional space.
Very much so. Because
that's what I'm saying.
I threw away a really good relationship once. And boy, I learned from that. So that's like the template for me. What to do, what not to do. And I'm not ashamed to say that I've learned. You
burn and you learn.
I burn and I learn. I burn plenty, but I wasn't learning. But that particular one I learned. So I would say that
I was gonna say. I think in my 20s, especially, I was trying to figure out women. And that's why I would pick a lot of female friends' brains. I just ask questions and try to understand. What I learned, it's similar to what Krystal was saying, is I think most men are one-dimensional, maybe two-dimensional, maybe. The exceptional man might be three-dimensional. Women, multi-dimensional. And I think that made me understand women more. That sometimes when a woman says something, you're like, what? You had to start to think, okay, she's not just thinking, she's thinking about what happened in the past. She's thinking about she connected about she remember that girl who's
spider web of thoughts.
Watch your body past. But I think like men, most men are very,
straight
cut.
That was the biggest.
Women just need to learn how to.
Biggest lesson I had. It is what it is.
And you see that over emotional stuff. Nobody not saying not to be emotional, but learn how to check it. You understand?
Timing,
Okay, you're hurt,
timing.
you this,
Yeah.
that, but you cannot act when you're feeling angry. You cannot act when you're feeling rage.
Yeah.
Take some time, take some space, bounce.
Totally.
You know?
And I think communication, because for me, I can remember my first serious relationship.
Was it Minty?
Yeah, Minty. I remember, like, you know, like that time a month, woman might be a bit moody and stuff. And I remember.
We hate that, eh?
Eh?
We hate that.
Hate that.
Like
the other
that.
Hate
mood.
what?
No,
Moodiness?
like how we all like actually say it, like you PMSing, you know. We hate when you make it a thing.
No, but
We
and
all.
I think it's growth as a man to understand what it's like to be a woman.
Yeah.
And imagine having to deal with that, you know. And I think that made me understand more. But with her, like, I think what I respected is the first time it happened, like, she was real moody. She communicated and she's like, listen, babe, it's this time of the month. Might be a little moody today.
Right.
And I think that helped rather
That's
than
big respect. I like that. I like that.
rather than
I
just
like that.
You just
you know,
get
you
them
are,
shook it for no
as
reason.
a man, you having a good day and all of a sudden
Yeah.
you're like, what? You know?
I like this, like women expect it to read their mind
Yeah.
too.
And we're logical, so I need to
Yeah.
understand why you're upset. And if you say
Yeah.
like nothing,
Yeah.
you know, I think that might trigger a man to be
Olivia,
like,
Marcus.
yeah.
I just I'm kidding.
All right, guys. So we on the hour, so we're gonna take a quick break, and we will be right back. You're watching Island Girl Talk.
Yeah.
Guy's perspective.
Now we celebrate. Now we celebrate. Celebrate with Caribbean. Whenever. Now we celebrate. Wherever. Now we celebrate. Whenever. Celebrate with Caribbean. Whenever. Now we celebrate. Wherever. Now we celebrate. Whenever. Celebrate with Caribbean. Now we celebrate. Now we celebrate. Celebrate with Caribbean.
Caribbean Tropical Hard Cider. Drink responsibly.
Hope your day filled with gratitude. Oh,
Mr. Humble as ever.
so very grateful
So grateful.
for life. They come take the shirt off my back. I have life, yes, I have life. And if the soul and the shoes pass up, I breathe and find grateful for
I'm
life.
grateful for life, grateful for life. Hands them walking, I feel alive. Foot them walking, I feel alive. Everything walking, I feel alive. And
I'm grateful for it all. So very grateful for it all.
it's the simple things that matter to me. Yeah. And I'm a simple one, don't care what you say. Yeah. You don't know how I stay.
But we under pressure and we freedom under attack.
From ever since I could I remember, the system tryna hold me back.
A new year means new opportunities. Grab it, don't let go.
When you fall short and you're on your knees,
Pray for the will to grow. We have it here.
we have it, yeah.
This is we own.
This is the old.
No mountain or hill could take we off the throne.
No, no, no.
We have it here.
We have it, yeah.
This is we own. No mountain or hill could take we off the throne. They could take the shirt off my back. I have life, yes, I have life. And if the soul and the shoes box up, I breathe and find grateful for life.
I'm grateful for life, grateful for life. Hands them walking, I feel alive. Foot them walking, I feel alive. Everything walking, I feel alive. And
I'm grateful for it all. So very grateful for it all.
it's the simple things that matter to me. Yeah. And I'm a simple one, don't care what you say. Yeah. Grateful for my family, friends that there for me. God keep blessing me, God keep blessing me. Grateful for my family, friends that there for me. God keep blessing me, God keep blessing me.
I'm grateful for it all. So very grateful for it all. Hope your day filled with gratitude. Oh, so very grateful
So grateful.
for life.
Me stay humble as ever. Now we celebrate. Now we celebrate. Celebrate with Caribbean. Whenever. Now we celebrate. Wherever. Now we celebrate. Whenever.
Caribe Tropical Hard Cider. Drink responsibly.
Juice. Yeah. Yeah, we back in this thing with DLL. Let's go. Just when you thought I was finished.
All right, guys, we are back with more Island Girl Talk. We're your host. I'm Krystal Khayne.
Trinidad Shawna.
Neicy.
And of course, we've got
Brave boy.
Brave Boy Blow in the house. Put our camera on Brave Boy there, Ananias.
Raw. I know you're going to try.
Yeah. I step in where I know my strengths end.
Okay. We're going to get right back into the conversation, y'all. But first, you know, we had to do our little duty, right? So we're going to do a little script for Caribe. Enjoy the crisp refreshment of Caribe hard cider, an all-natural gluten-free blend crafted with champagne yeast. Caribe Tropical Hard Cider is available in original pineapple and rosé whenever, wherever. Celebrate with Caribe.
Drink response.
I'm calling Olin to do voiceovers for this, eh? We're going to start playing some voiceovers for these.
Yeah, I'd like that so I could just relax here, like run the thing now.
Yes, I.
Right, so guys, welcome back again. We are having a very nice conversation. I mean, it took different directions, but you know, we get to hear a lot of different perspectives. But it was generally, is the sole responsibility on women to pick better, or should men do better, right? So we got a lot of good ideas coming out from both sides. But I would just like to add that on many times in the show, we've mentioned that it's very important to protect our energy. And, you know, we always speak about that. And I think all of this is included in terms of when you're picking somebody. To protect your energy is crucial. So as a person, I think that we have some responsibility, especially the women. So this is my view, right? We do have a lot of responsibility when it comes to picking persons. And as Brave Boy would have mentioned, we pick a lot of things that we're familiar with. You're seeing bad things happening in your family. You tend to pick a toxic partner based on things that, and even if you're not toxic, because sometimes good women choose really awful men, right? And some parts of you have
broken.
Some parts of you broken, and you're longing for that. So I think it's very important for us as women as well to, in picking better, do better for ourselves, where we upgrade our minds and the way we see things. We try to educate ourselves. We break generational curses, because all of these things are continuously coming down. And in so doing, when we upgrade ourselves and understand our worth, we could attract a partner as such. We could attract a better partner. And yeah, you are the ones in between who mess it up, but we could really be responsible for making good choices as well. So, just we're gonna go a little bit further into that with giving people some tips. Yeah. Just well said, Shawna. But just to say, I would like to also add to that and say, let's put the onus on both men and women, right? Because it's not really my stance is it's not on us to pick. Yes, we may have a say so, because if the man approaches us, but what if a woman who is one rundown man? What if they get rejected by a man? Then, you know, or they are pursuing a man, then the onus is on the man to say yes or give his consent, not so? Mark? Marcus, so
Brave Boy.
My thing is, it really should be two people choosing each other, right? In my humble opinion. And with everything else that you said, being aware, making sure that they're emotionally and mentally healthy and ready, and they're on the same page and frequency and all these great things. But at the end of the day, all the points that we made with regard to women should also be applied on the man side as well, right? But like Marcus said earlier in the show, we have so many broken people, damaged people, people who not on a level yet with themselves, that we have a lot of hurt people entering into relationships, and the majority of the world hurt.
Well,
if you really think about it.
So now I know that we talk a lot about toxic masculinity, but there's also toxic femininity.
Oh yeah,
and I think that is always a touchy topic.
Yeah.
You know, but
I think to wrap it up.
Can you all write that down? Toxic femininity.
Wrap it up before we dive into our points. I just think before we reach to the stage of picking, how about we just be better, so that when we pick or they pick, they're getting something of quality. Be better before. You know, some people wanting to be picking is like, do your partner even know what they're picking when they pick you? you know.
But I think people don't know themselves.
They don't know, and it's only
and
relationships hold up a mirror.
It
holds up a mirror because it's a very intimate space.
Yeah.
So things that you probably could hide from the world, like when you dress up and you go into a job or you dress up and you know, that layer is revealed in a relationship because it's so intimate and personal.
Yeah.
And when these things show up, you might think you're not the problem because nobody else have an issue. You might be seeing other people once in a blue moon or around them once, you know, but in a relationship, there's a mirror. They're holding up that mirror to show you certain things.
And the pandemic made a lot of people face themselves.
Yes.
That's
Oh
true.
boy.
Very
Yes,
true.
indeed.
But I still think the reality exists that they are hurt people. You can't change it. As much as we want to do better, it exists, right?
Yeah.
And let me just you like I got in like to draw references. But a quick example I'm thinking of here. I wanted to buy a Lancer, right? I just found it was a nice shark mouth Lancer and things. And my cousin was like, nah, pick a better car. The transmission and the Lancers just go bad quick now. But you could imagine me arguing, no, the company must make a better transmission. Like they need to fix their car. Yeah, they should, right? But that's just the reality of the situation. It is what it is. So you really have to find people that aligned with you as well. So it is a bit of like Chris said, being both. You have to pick better.
Be better.
Do better. Everything all in one.
Right? Yeah. All right. So right about now, we're going to just give you all 5 tips. Yeah. Just tips to consider when making that decision to enter into a more serious dispensation with somebody else, right? But before we do, we have to turn over to the chat room. Guys, I'm sorry, but we've been ignoring our people. Y'all, we are so sorry. But today is one of those topics now. It's a lot, right? So we're going to start off from where I left off. Right, we have Brave Boy for the Win by Marlon Jitua. Cyan Brobel says, I agree with Brave Boy when people pretend. We have Vaughn Citroen saying, you're preaching, cuz. Who is Vaughn? Cuz. You're preaching, cuz. Yes,
I'm a Jim J.
We have Cyan Brobel saying, yes, the signs are always there, but some people are not educated about it. Yeah. She also goes on to say, abusers beg to stay promising. Abusers stay promising to change this and change that, but the next thing women face too with the hope to stay. I'm not sure how she typed it, but I think that the abusers keep promising to do better and do better, so and they hold on staying hoping that they would they stay hoping that they would change. I'm guessing that's what she's trying to say. Then Fawn goes on to say, you're too picky, Chrissy. Nothing wrong with picky, man. Nothing wrong, but then, you know, my grandmother say pick and then until they pick shit, right? Well, I hope I don't. Team Echelon says, what I miss. Boy, you gotta go back and watch it.
I gotta watch you run.
Right?
Shut it live.
Amrit Kant is saying, hi, I think he's new. Hi, Amrit. He said, great topics and great conversation. Thank you, Amrit. Welcome. Then Cyan says, I agree with Kyle, seek help when needed. Yeah. That's when Kyle called in. And then Amrin says, facts. He goes on to say, all a man needs is a feminine woman. Is this woman going to be a great mother to my kids and a good example to them? A woman with great feminine qualities. I'm all about that. I'm a traditional woman. I do believe women should be feminine and men should be men. We are not equal. We are different, and we should be comfortable and happy with our differences. That's what I believe. I do not think that we are equal. I'm not one of those feminism. I want a man to pull out my chair for me, open my doors. I you know what I mean? And I will submit to a man that I believe is strong enough and worthy of me submitting to. But I don't think for a minute that we equal. I think we are different and we bring unique things to the table. Mark watching it like a talking madness.
I listen. I'm thinking because I think it's tricky because I think that there are some alpha females who not traditionally you know.
I am by far an alpha female. I consider myself an alpha female, but that doesn't mean I wouldn't submit to the right person.
No, but I'm saying like even some of the things that you were saying that like the pulling the chairs, like some
women don't even want that.
I just think that there are different types of men and there are different types of women. That's confusing things in the dating scene now. You know, like people want different things now. You know, so it because me personally, like, I would like to be the man, you know, in the relationship. And I want the woman to be the woman, but you know, I understand I've dated different women who like different things. You know, and it makes you learn. It taught me a lot, you know.
Being a strong alpha type woman does not mean that she's not feminine and non-traditional. Like none of that. I'm gonna make sure I'm happy with or without you. But if I'm with you and we together and we doing this dance together, pull out my chair, open my door, and I will do what I have to do. Like if I think you are worth it and I've made a decision to treat you like a king and you me a queen, let's do it. You know? But you have to find the person that is worth that.
Yeah, the right person will make you, as you say, make you wanna do those things.
I think it's just about being able to switch it on and off, because even if you're alpha when it comes to like your career or whatever, when it comes into a relationship, that alphaness needs to go.
It goes.
Because a man needs to be an alpha in a relationship.
Yeah.
That is how
and
the setup is.
It's so awesome that you said that, because it naturally goes away. When you find a man that you no longer have to be the one in control or the one, holding the reins, and you find someone who could really sit in that pocket of being that man in every aspect of life, then you could go like,
you could rest.
And you naturally become who you are naturally, which is a woman. A feminine, soft. You know, you ever see a happy woman with a man that really nurturing her and treating her right?
My mom.
Come on, man. Come on, man. That edge is gone. That angst is gone. She's soft and she's just like a flower blowing in the breeze.
And even
it's a beautiful
I've seen
thing
it with
to see.
men too, Chris. Like men, when they find
peace.
that partner, and they're at peace
They're
in a
at peace.
relationship. When they're in the world, it's like, but when they're with the woman, they're gentle and soft as well, like in terms of the way that they would treat her.
Correct.
You know, so they complement each other in that
Absolutely.
space. Yeah.
Should I continue?
Yes, you can.
Yeah. All right. Right. So continuing, Marv Monty says values have changed so much in modern times. It's at times frightening. He said, my 18-year-old daughter and 21-year-old son have some challenges ahead. Right? He also goes on to say everything these days is I. What happened to we? You know? Amrit says marriage is not the big event and giving each other a ring. Marriage is the coming together of two individuals with the intent of long-term investments into each other's lives and future kids. Well said. He also says marriage was the first institution that God instilled, but marriage isn't the material thing like what most people associate it with. Right? Then Lendell comes in and says, keep expectations realistic. No one can be everything we might want them to be. Talk with each other. It can't be said enough. Talk with each other. Communication is essential to a healthy relationship. We have a few more. Amrit Khan is agreeing. He says facts. Science says, do you understand men? Yes, I do. And I try to understand my partner and observe him so that it will be easier to communicate and deal with issues. She's answering our question. Landell says, the key in a strong relationship, though, is not to be fearful of conflict. He said, you need to feel safe to express things that bother you without fear of retaliation. And we have a call. Olia is a number we don't know. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. Hold on, Let's see if I have it here. Hello, caller. Welcome to Island Girl Talk. State your name and where you're calling from.
Hey, Queen.
Hi. We need to save this number. It's Katie C. Hi, Katie.
So if we sleeping it or not, you know, Katie like to hit us with the D.
Yes. We'd be happy to hear from Katie and then we get scared.
Yeah.
Yes, hi, Katie. What's up?
Slatey.
I just want to add one short point to the healing, because, you know, I'm also in an intentional space as well in my life, and it took me a lot of circles going back and forth and whatnot, and when I found this little tidbit, I was like, I could have finally, like, breathed, kind of, so maybe by saying this and the listeners, I would have helped somebody to not go through circles like I have. But I just want to say that healing isn't becoming the best version of yourself. It's actually learning to love the rejected, suppressed parts of yourself that you don't like, and showing yourself kindness, and showing those parts kindness, and being able to say, okay, this quality I don't too particularly like, or I feel rejected in this situation. So how can I show myself love in that situation? Or how can I show this quality love? And then also finding a partner who's also aware of that, and finding a partner that you can be safe with. I think people tend to put chemistry and connection above all of it, but it's safety.
But it's what? What you said, Katie?
It's safety.
Okay,
that should be above chemistry and connection.
Making sense.
But I'm a little tidbit I just wanted to add.
This is not little. This is huge.
It's a gem.
This is
because I feel like a lot of people think healing and like, oh, I need to heal myself before I get into a relationship, relationship with the right person. I don't want to say the right, but you know, the suitable partner will have you opening up, man or woman, masculine, alpha, beta, doesn't matter. Will have you feeling safe enough to explore those rejected parts of yourself that actually need the love, as opposed to I need to heal this before I do this. Because healing is a lifelong journey.
Yes.
We're born, and that's a traumatizing experience. You were born into trauma. So it's a lifelong journey that will never end, and there's no right I'm healed. It is showing those parts, those rejected parts, those ugly parts, love and kindness.
Thank you so much. That is our point. Yes. Well, it's decided she's coming on this show.
Katie, ready yourself.
That's really, really good because I've seen, you ever look at relationships that like probably lasted.
Katie, thank you so much. Don't run up your arm.
Thank you.
Thank you for that point.
Katie. But you're
bye, lovely.
Bye, hon. Look at those relationships that last the test of time. So when you hear them talk about each other, it's about being willing to like love them through stuff while they on their journey of healing, because they're actually doing the work, but you're not waiting for them to show up whole and completed. You're actually supporting them during that process because you're seeing they're really trying. You know, and then to come out on the other side of that where they could enjoy the growth and enjoy that new place of showing up better. You know?
Indeed. With that said, guys, we will continue with the chat room in a minute. We have to get into this point, right? So we have a few points for you all to consider when making that decision to step into that next level with that person. Who wants to go first? I'll go first.
Keep it real.
All right.
Chris.
So tips to consider when deciding whether or not you want to date someone or go to the next level or you know, go to that more serious realm. Know what you want. Right? I think we all kind of touch on that as well. You know, when considering a relationship, you don't want to settle with just any person. Know what it is you want out of the relationship and what you are prepared to give, and make sure that you have that conversation with the person. You'll go in on the same page, the same vibes, vibration, frequency, all that jazz. And And
so just to add to that point too, as Chris mentioned, know what you want. Keep in mind that as Katie also mentioned, that chemistry is not enough. I am with this person because I just feel good. Imagine you ask somebody, so you know why you with me? It just feels right. So what happens when the feelings run out? Because let's be real, the feelings don't always stay. You're in love today, you're out of love tomorrow. Is more than that. So as Chris said, know what you want. Talk about what you want out of life. You know, things that you're actually working on together.
Building together.
Exactly.
Building together.
That's right. Neicy, you want to go?
I wanted to add watch out for the red flags, but here the side thing there. Don't just focus on red flags in your partner. Focus on your own red flags.
Hopefully you're aware enough to recognize that you have red flags.
Because most people don't know. You. We could tell people everything that's wrong with them, but you can't tell yourself, or you can't even receive when somebody telling you.
It's a hard thing to look at yourself, you know.
Understand? So red flags is the header, but not just when it comes to others. Also be able to sit down with yourself and be like, yo, I real. You know, and I need to work on that. To work on that.
Anything you want to add?
No, I'll say that's correct. And sometimes that takes years. That takes, especially, both men and women. Both men and women. It takes years to understand certain things that you know are toxic in you.
Any kind of work in progress does take some time. Huh?
But that's feel good, like when you actually find a flaw in yourself and you recognize, check yourself.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm learning? It only takes time when you're not ready to do the work and you're not ready to be honest. Because for the moment you could call yourself out and you're ready to really be like, this is what it is. How do we get better? The work begins. It takes time when you keep trying to dance around it and you keep trying to push it over. You know, you're not ready to face it.
I think ego is a hell of a thing. And I think I think shedding of the ego is important for both men and women in relationships. I think that is one of the most important things. Because ego will make men do things and make women do things.
Straight up, young and strong.
Shawns?
I would just say make sure that you're equally yoked. I mean, I don't want to sound too religious.
No, please do.
Spiritual. It is very important that you equally yoked to somebody, whether it is through religion or spirituality or even politics. It have minor things. I won't say minor. It have great things that could actually mess up relationships because you take these things for granted and now we'll make it work, but somewhere along the line you face some serious issues. So that's basically that.
Indeed. We have two more. I'll say one. Find someone who has good personality attributes. And personally speaking, I would like someone who, a big thing for me is they are kind to others, especially people who do menial jobs. I was dating someone already who spoke a little too rough to the driver and rough to the waiter, and don't do those things. Give that person the same respect you would give the president of the United States if you were to meet him. I'm a big advocate for kindness. Like, if you are not nice to people, it's a wrap. That's it right there and then. So, make sure you choose someone who has good attributes, who, can mesh with you, and make sure you're that kind of person too. You know what I mean? Because you can't want a kind person and you're not kind. You know what I mean? So
because you won't be equally yoked.
That's right. Someone
You'll
who
be
can
surprised though. I know, oh gosh, I don't want to say the B word, but I know real B word girls. And there's got some real nice guys, boy, and I was like, oh, will you pull that, boy?
That is trauma bonding. It's called trauma bonding.
I heard that men like B words.
Yeah.
They like it when they get treated bad.
I would say...
Don't lie, eh?
No, I would say not necessarily B word, but like...
Well, they like the bad treatment.
To some extent, men like crazy women. And I hate the word crazy because I think crazy is the wrong word because people are traumatized. A lot of it is just trauma, but to
it's
use
like how girls are drawn to the bad boys.
Yeah,
men are
like
drawn to the bad girls.
Crazy. I've been guilty of that.
Yeah.
Anyone wants to do the last one?
Nah, you go.
I'll do it. The last one is... And I lost it. Okay, last one is make sure that you're attracted to him physically. That's a big one for me. Like, if the physical chemistry is not there, I'm not even bothered.
I would be a Jesus advocate. I had to, I wouldn't say that it's out the door completely for me, but in the past where I would have led with stuff like that, nah, because some of the healthiest connections I've gotten was with people that the physical stuff took a while to build. I connected with them, their personality, and realized like if I was going on the physical, I'd have missed out on that because it didn't come in the package that I would have gone for, but it was everything that I desired. So for me, yes,
nothing was in the package, but are you sure?
No, in terms of the physical,
because nothing. Because sometimes it might just be the nose, Like it might be the eye.
But what it was, I wouldn't say. Okay, I wouldn't say, like for instance, like if I like somebody who tall and I meet somebody who's short, I would just be like, I don't even go there because when I put on heels, I taller than you. But what I would say, and this came from somebody who, as I said, didn't come in the package that I would normally go for, but it made me look at it. It was like, I want to be in love with you to the point that if you get in an accident somewhere on your whole face thing, I still love you because of who you are. Right. Because things could change. And I was like, it made me think because if my thing is, oh, you look so nice, and then the other stuff are just masking it because you look so nice. When you stop looking nice, what am I left with? You understand?
But I want to go a step further because what we're talking about right now is the superficial part of of being attracted physically. What this point emphasizes is you want to be with somebody who, when they touch you, your skin doesn't crawl. Doesn't matter if you're good looking or not, because we've already ascertained that looks does not necessarily matter in a relationship. Looks, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. My point is, you have to be physically attracted to somebody. When they touch you, when they kiss you, you don't recoil. You understand? You are attracted to them.
I think then it had
sexual
some level
chemistry
of
is there.
attraction. It just wasn't the bigger thing.
right? Because being physically attracted to someone does not always entail how pretty the person is or how handsome the person is.
But some people would think it's
that's why I'm explaining now. You want to make sure that this is somebody that you can connect with physically. You enjoy them physically. That's what we're talking about here.
Well said.
So let's just recap on the 5 tips to consider when making that decision to get to that next level with someone. Know what you want. Make sure you're equally yoked. Right? Find someone who has good personality attributes. Make sure you're physically attracted to them, and watch out for red flags. Right? Now there are many, many more, but guys, those are 5 pertinent ones. Are you with it? Right? Pertinent ones. Right? And guys, with that, we're gonna wrap up topic of the day. Right? Thanks, sir. Marcus, you did a good job. You did a good job. Right? And we're gonna take a quick little break, run some ads, listen to some music, and we'll be right back with Sip and Spill. We're going to put we boy in the hot box.
Yeah, I'm feeling excited already.
Right? We'll be right back after these messages right here on OURradio.fm.
Now we celebrate. Now we celebrate. Celebrate with Caribbean. Whenever. We celebrate. Wherever. We celebrate. Whenever. Celebrate with Caribbean. Whenever. We celebrate. Wherever. We celebrate. Whenever. Celebrate with Caribbean. Now we celebrate. Now we celebrate. Celebrate with Caribbean.
Caribbean Tropical Hard Cider. Drink responsibly.
Physical attraction, body limber, ready for action. The double texting pressure my cellular. Pirelli's wider, it is better for the traction. Pay me no mind, man, I'm just scrolling on my Instagram. No pre-my plan, operating under ambition. God's child, he blessed me with mad style. Hey, where you going, mama, stay a little while. Cause I got what you need. Bubble rolling up, he got mad trees. Don't worry about the PCPs, girl, put your mind at ease. Pour out the cognac for those in need. Spill to the pavement for the RIPs. Blessed enough, yes enough. Never give you nothing less enough. Man, at the best enough, less enough. Put that keep on your chest. Come on, a 10 out of 10. Never need to flash on them. Never tolerate fake friend. Blessing up, I say blessing up. Come and make me bless it up. To her sell a bon C, I take out her fancy. Dimension up top, gotta be double D. Smooth round brown, hair smelling like peaches. She rock crop tops with the fresh wallabies. Already viral on the Twitter. Baby girl is sweeter than a fritter. Lovely lady, why forget it with ya? And anywhere you go, the girl them biting on your style. They don't say that to bitter. Kinda like Tori and Lois in our own lane. You know I'm the man, girl, we both came. Ain't got to tell me I'm super, it's in my first name. Never had to touch a dope game. Blessed enough, yes enough. Never give you nothing less enough. Man, not the best enough, less enough. Put that keep on your chest. Come on, a 10 out of 10. Never need to flash on them. Never tolerate fake friend. Blessing up, I say blessing up. Come and make me bless it up. Yeah, send out the injunction, we ballin' at the function. And celebrating life at every junction. Bad mind go away, we not no time for ya. Nothing but good vibes, no. Oh, sister, lady, do you have your mister? Girl, I just mighty list ya. None no fight, no fist up. None no marty, none no mix up. Don't worry if you read me, no Krystal. Yeah, time waits for no man.
get with the program. Love lives the slogan.
I've been thinking about a lot of things of lately. See the way I feel, I think that I should let you know. I've been on the road, it was dark and lonely, slipping slowly. I was lost for a moment, trapped in time, but I found my own. Cool and calm, yeah, we're there. Give thanks to a life for my prayer. Skunk on the beat like Slayer. Out here in the street with a strayer. Don't think for a minute that we fair. Cause the energy, it too way up. Watch your back, never down, yeah, we stay up. Chillin' on the top Himalaya. chilling on the top Himalaya. Take time now, if you don't know how. Me I go teach you so this I no flex on. Bring the checks on, put some respect on. Me music, the lyrics are my weapon. Turn the negative into a lesson. Give the youth some need some progression. A little session, easy tension. No so the thing go on nice, alright. Cool and calm, yeah we there. Give thanks to a life for me prayer. Skunk on the beat like Slayer. Out here in the street with a strayer. Don't think for a minute that we fair. Cause the energy, it too way up. Watch your back, never down, yeah we stay up. Chilling on the top Himalaya. Alright. Cool and calm, yeah we there. Give thanks to a life for me prayer. Skunk on the beat like Slayer. Out here in the street with a strayer. Don't think for a minute that we fair. For the energy, it too way up. Watch your back, never down, yeah we stay up. Chilling on the top Himalaya. Celebrate with Caribbean. Whenever, wherever, whenever. Celebrate with Caribbean. Whenever, wherever, whenever. Celebrate with Caribbean. Now we celebrate. Celebrate with Caribbean.
Caribbean Tropical Hard Cider. Drink responsibly.
She's looking at me too, wearing all your shoes, tripping, staring at the moon. Why you had to leave so soon? When they took you away, the pain it stayed more than 1,000 days.
We are back with more Island Girl Talk. We're your hosts. I'm Krystal Khayne.
Trinidad Shawna. Oh God! Corona!
We have Corona in the house.
Corona!
Really, Neicy? Oh, that boy. Let's try this again. Welcome to Island Girl Talk. We're your hosts. I'm Krystal Khayne.
Trinidad Shawna. You there?
And we have Neicy, aka Coronavirus, in the house. We also have the multifaceted, multi-talented Marcus Brave Boy, aka Brave Boy, in the house. Neicy, you ready, girl?
Yeah.
Say your name now, darling.
Neicy.
Oh, only if we ain't come back here next week, all you don't know, is dead, we dead.
I rebuke it in Jesus' name.
You better rebuke it.
She's safe.
All right, guys, let's do our job. As you know, this segment is sponsored by Caribbean. right? Enjoy the crisp refreshment of Caribe Hard Cider, an all-natural, gluten-free blend crafted with champagne yeast. Caribe Tropical Hard Cider is available in original, pineapple, and rosé. Whenever, wherever, celebrate with Caribe. Drink responsibly. And with that, we are going to get right into it. If Neicy could stop coughing for 2 minutes. Neicy, we pocketed it today, girl. We pocketed it today.
I take it. I can't even fight back.
If we go on dead, we might as well die laughing. All right, I'll stop.
Chris is on a roll. Right? Chris is on a roll.
All right. Are you ready?
I want to start with an easy one.
Okay. Wait, we going?
But
no.
How we end cheers? I don't understand.
Now, as you know, Marcus, yeah, we doing it ghetto today. Yeah. No champagne glasses.
In guys' perspective, you know.
Guys' perspective.
Cheers. Right? Guys? Yes, so
it's how I said my like the guys do. It's like
It tastes good, huh?
It's nice.
So guys,
it's really nice.
As you know, Sip and Spill is one of our newer segments where we put our guests in the hot box by asking them more prying, intimate, personal questions. Little out of time and too.
Sometimes.
Quirky. Anything we want to ask, we ask them. And they answer as they sip and they spill. All right? So, Brave Boy, you ready or what?
I'm ready.
I think Shawna want to go first, but she want to start easy.
But then I want to go first if I go easy.
We raw dogging it tonight.
Go ahead.
All right, who wants to go first? Neicy, no?
Nah, I'm not going first.
Neicy,
my question is soft.
What is?
Okay. Oh, yes, go Neicy.
What is the longest partner you have gone without sex?
Longest period?
Ooh. Yeah. Oh gosh, like somebody have a question.
For you. 2 years.
No, go.
Willingly?
2 years.
Yeah. You had to sip before you spill it. You had to sip before you spill.
Yeah, willingly, yeah.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
I'm shocked.
Okay.
What he say?
2 years.
2 years without it?
Mm-hmm.
He said willingly. I just have a brief question.
Willingly celibate?
What was the...
I was just on a real focus. It was for focus.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to focus as much as possible. And,
Okay.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
And stay away from drama. And stay away from... I just needed to focus. Yeah.
Okay, understand.
Down there could be a little bit chaotic, so I understand.
Yeah. I wouldn't recommend it. For, like it could... lack of sex could send your mind so many places.
Right,
as a guy, but at the same time, I think it really allowed me to figure out who I want to be, who I am, as a man,
Yeah.
Okay.
And,
snaps to you.
Yeah.
Snaps.
I think that was a very brave decision.
Sure, no?
Well, let's see what I did there. It was a very brave decision.
Okay.
Go Sean.
God, I'm so still, nobody even catch on. All right.
That's a good one.
I have a simple one, a nice one. It's not hard. What's your favorite quality about yourself?
Favorite quality about myself?
Yes.
I think I'm a good listener and just a very understanding person.
Nice.
Okay.
I can agree with that.
All right.
I don't like Chris face.
Right.
When Chris had to get that
real.
smoke on, there's no...
Finally, just drop that bottle there. All right. We going in hard.
I think I sip in my
And you have to sip before you spill it.
All right.
Have you ever had a threesome?
Oh, let's have this sip one time. Oh, my goodness.
Not yet.
All right.
Good boy.
I thought I was gonna have one, but
Not yet.
But not yet. No.
So it's on yet, and this brings me to my next.
Wait. That was round one. That was round one. Yeah, you survived round one.
I survived round one.
Yes. What is that, Sean?
The boy said y'all just pass over the word yet.
That's what I said. Yes.
Make I ask for the question.
Yes, now. So my question kind of gonna piggyback off of that. Yes.
Talk to me, niece.
So what is something or some things that is on your bucket list?
Sexually or just generally?
Generally, but if you want to give us a little, we'll keep it general. Yeah. Something that you have to do in this lifetime. Give us 3.
Just general bucket list.
You want sexual too. She
Yeah.
is
But I
saying
feel
coy.
like I can say I can give a lady nice.
Give-
Well, I want to
Give nice
I
and
want a
bad.
Grammy. I want this. So, you know, but y'all want the.
We want the
We want
raunchy
things.
shit.
You can't mention the Grammy because you mentioned that earlier.
Yeah.
So
We,
I
we
like
know
it.
what you want already as it pertains to your career. What
Yeah.
Neicy really want to say, but she not saying is we want the raunch.
Yeah,
The
things that
raunch.
might shock us. Give us
Yes.
some shock factors when it comes to your bucket list.
Shock factor, some bucket.
It could be one or two. You
I
don't
mean,
know.
I would say because it's just also about it. Like it's definitely something I've always wanted to try, which is a threesome.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but you know, it's one of those. If I have to do that though, whoever I'm with has to want to do it.
Right.
Yeah,
You know, I don't want.
It's
I don't
not
want
a
to.
random thing.
I don't want a girl to do that. A woman to do that just to make me happy.
Yeah.
You know, I think that if that person is into, you know,
Ooh.
Trying out things.
yeah, I think.
Ting.
I like
Ready?
to. Yeah, I like to have sex in public places.
Woo! He didn't
Not-
even wait for the
but not-
question, boy.
But not in Trinidad, because Trinidad is so
You're damn right.
So I would say like if I, you know, like somewhere like, you know, Maldives or somewhere that real, you know, just
Exotic,
yeah, like
You
I think
into
like
the risky business?
so there's a rooftop in Singapore, I've been real specific.
What?
And it's like a jacuzzi overlooking the city. And yeah, that is definitely a sexual fantasy of mine to have sex
my
there.
God.
Oh my goodness.
So I give it a
Mark
two.
is brave, boy.
And the third is the Billboard charts on the Grammy.
Hell yeah.
And we
I
see
guess.
that in your future.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, we see that. All right, Sean.
My turn.
Yeah, I seen a glint in Shawna. You know.
Yeah, I feel it too close to Chris come around.
Have you ever cheated on anybody?
Nah, never cheated.
Oh, that easy
I-
thing.
That's not easy.
I've been a hoarder, man, but I've never cheated.
Okay.
I say that because when I say, especially in front of women, if I say I never cheat, women must be like, oh wow. But I feel like being a hoarder, man, is
It's
not
the
a
same-
good thing
yeah,
either.
it's the
same
So I
kind
don't
of-
want nobody
yeah.
to feel like, well, oh wow, you know, like
Yeah.
I own up to that, and that's, you know,
Right.
that is
Okay.
something. I've
Well,
done.
that rules out my question.
I'm just
Was it-
loving the honesty. Let's just
Yeah.
give him
Yeah.
some snaps for
Snaps for the
label of
honesty.
Nobody perfect, and I'm not trying to paint a perfect picture.
Okay.
That rules out my question because I was gonna ask if you ever had to juggle more than one woman.
Yeah.
But you just say you never cheat.
Probably
No,
the
I was not in a
dating
relationship. So what's the difference? You gotta be in a relationship, right?
Yeah.
And I've
Also,
always been. So I had a
You
little
see,
period.
semantics.
Chris, you know
No,
what you're
it's
doing.
just-
Right?
There was a period in time where I was just enjoying myself and enjoying being a single man. And
Okay.
and I think there was a point in time I was dating like 4 girls at the same time.
Did
But-
they know?
Yeah.
Okay.
But in terms, they didn't know who the people were, who
But
each
they know
other were.
you was dating
But I was
other
honest, I was
people.
just like, you know, I'm
You're just
just
enjoying
going
your
through just going through a period where I just dating and, you know.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna ask you another one.
I guess she's satisfaction.
I ain't get my
babe.
satisfaction. Have you ever dated an older woman, and how much older? Because you look like somebody who does date older woman.
I look like somebody's dating a little bit.
Who is not opposed to it.
Cougar age.
Mm-hmm. What's cougar age? 50, 60?
What made you decide?
Which one?
50s.
But what made you decide to?
Honestly, I think it just happened organically. It was somebody who we just started talking on,
And you
and yeah,
found a
like,
likeness.
One
But-
night she said, "Come over."
Mm-hmm.
We just, you know,
Won't
so
you come over, boy?
Chris, stop it. Yo, Island Girl
Yo,
Talk
once
comedy
I
show
start to
coming to a
drink-
city
because
near
I'm asking
you.
what makes me look like
Well,
somebody who date a older
Because
woman.
you're mature.
The maturity.
Okay.
You understand?
Most of the
Okay.
times they won't find that with
And
younger.
you're not going to
Yeah.
get much women your age.
I've always been
on a level
attracted
of
to
maturity.
older. Like my first girlfriend was 5 years older than me.
Okay.
And generally, like, you know, I dated persons, you know, mainly older than me.
You mind sharing
But-
your age?
Yeah, I'm 37.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I'll forget. Okay, so Neicy said what made you decide as though it's such a big decision to date? We're getting a call!
This might be a
Alright,
good
we
thing
get
for you,
really excited when we
Personal
get a
call.
call.
What you doing now?
And they call in during sip and spill too, which
Yeah.
means they have a question.
Yep.
Okay.
Hello, caller. Welcome to Island Girl Talk. State your name and where you're calling from.
This is Cyan Verbal.
Hi,
First time I calling in.
We realize.
No. Get you some snaps, yo.
Some snaps for Cyan, boy. What's up,
So
girl?
I have a question for our guest, right? He just said something. And I want to know why men like to have sex in public.
Ooh.
I think women and men like to have sex in public.
But this is for you.
This is for you.
I think there's a thrill of it in terms of you could get caught or you could, it's a mix of the thrill of getting caught, maybe a little ego in it. If you get caught, like somebody, So for me, it's just it's excitement, But I say sure, not too small.
Yeah, boy.
So there's basically what adult play games. So we don't play catch and hide and seek. We play
the trail.
sex in public. Alright, cool.
I almost had sex in a club in Trinidad.
In a club. Oh, wow.
I was smart enough to be like, all right, let's stop. I feel they have security cameras.
Yeah.
And 2 weeks after, I heard that there were security cameras.
Oh my gosh.
So,
you would have been
I'd be out there.
Oh my God.
FYOB.
The
plane.
Which one? If I did plane?
Yeah. Mile high
Into my size?
Okay. Yes.
I can put it up.
Cyan is still there.
Answer your question.
Yes. I'm still here.
Yes, Cyan. Well, thank you for your question. You have anything else you want to ask?
Well, I just want to say you ladies is always do a great job, and I want you all to keep doing it every week. And this show has been like a little therapy for me every week. That is always forward. And I love the topics. The topics are very crucial topics. Every week you all talk real good. So thank you very much for this show. And you all have a good day.
Thank you, Cyan. Same to you. Big up somebody you love before you go now.
Oh God, my boyfriend and my mommy.
Yes, big up boyfriend and mommy. Have a good day, honey. Thank you for your question.
All right then. Thanks. Bye.
That was our first sip and spill calling.
Okay.
Yes, Cyan Birbal. Yes. All right. Who's next?
I wanted to ask a live question. So what's the first thing you do when you get up in the morning? Before you get out of bed, what is like your routine?
It sounds bad, but check my phone.
Check your phone.
Yeah.
Call he answer that.
Check all the messages.
All right.
We all guilty. Let's try to put my phone in the next room.
That's not healthy.
I have one, but it's simple too.
It's simple.
Yeah.
Well, I go and ask you this. You want to always leave me with all the
I want to switch
You
it.
can fall in love. Yeah, but fall in love at first sight. Like you see somebody and you know that was the person you wanted to be with.
It takes me a while. Like I have to really get to know somebody.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Try to make sense in my brain that
Yeah.
got to know this person, this person. Yeah, I'm very logical. So.
Right.
Okay.
I want to ask, and it's one we asked someone before. Do you enjoy dirty talk in bed?
Yes.
Even wait for you to finish.
Love it.
Really?
Yes.
Hi, papi. I want to switch a little bit. I think we had this with
switch.
Mikhail. So we gave you the guest a chance to ask us a question and we just answer accordingly. Y'all up for it, ladies?
You could probably show him the list so he would.
No, I want to see what he might pull out.
What?
Yeah, let he pull something because Mikhail pulled from his head as well.
He want to ask us.
You have any questions in mind? If you don't have,
don't put him on the spot. If he thinks of something, he can ask us.
Yeah. So if you want to ask us a question, you have that option.
But we can't just go ahead.
Yeah, no.
If you find a good one. Watch Chris' face.
Ole. It's not supposed to go this way.
What going on over there with the Caribbean?
It's not supposed to go this way.
Chris looking very mischievous. And she's always been mischievous. But today, it have an extra mischief.
I have one for him after.
What do you all think is the main thing that men generally don't understand about women sexually?
Sing boy.
Oh, God, you had to think about that? For real?
Everybody different.
How to find the button.
Okay.
Beep, 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 beep.
Well, things. You can give me two more, no?
I would just say, for my own real quick, sometimes you have some men that are just so focused on satisfying themselves, they don't really do what they have to do.
They don't study.
So that's a problem.
That's what I say, how to find the button. They don't spend the time to learn how to find the button.
My thing is the connection aspect for me. Like, if I like you, like I just turned on because I like you.
Yeah.
But I think like I need to feel that back from whoever I'm with. Like I need to feel like if we in this moment, not just about an orgasm, it's about us sexual intimate demeanor. So it's
Right.
about that kind of connection. I need you to be present there and trying to have that moment as well.
Okay.
Not just about trying to yeah, sorry. Why that come out? Yeah, so I just need it to be a moment. Like,
Neicy's a feelings person.
Oh,
She
God.
feels,
I need
she
to
feels a
feel.
lot.
Safety, yo. No, that's intelligence.
But that's
is
what
it-
turns me on, and,
Okay.
and that level of intimacy comes from that place, being able to switch off and be in the moment.
Neicy, hi, can you run the song effect one more time?
Do it.
You're terrible.
I can ask you another question.
Yes, one more.
I goes to your question about if I have had sex in public. I don't know if you're like, where's the most public place that you have had sex?
Oh my gosh.
This was you never watched the reel when Ginny Ball before Jesus moment, like before
Shawna, you gonna answer that question?
Shawna look like she can't play the
She looking too cool for school right now.
I feel it, to be honest. So I actually the most public place I ever had sex was actually in a club. On the avenue. But we're not gonna call the name.
They didn't have security cameras.
Listen, to this day, nothing ever came on because this was years ago. I'm presently celibate.
Yeah.
But yeah, during that time I was just ready to risk
Where's
it
that
for the
song? Give me the girl and we do begin to slap.
So yeah, my most
respect
public
your
before
honesty,
that would
yeah.
have been like the beach and thing. It was just like people just
I never even do that. But yeah,
but
now.
yeah, it would have been a club on the avenue.
club, okay.
Back in my
You
day.
cannot
Back in the day.
Back in my day. Now? No.
And on that note, Shawna, give me the cue.
Yeah, the cue, yeah.
It's now 2:30. We're coming right back to Sip and Spill. It's not the end,
You're not leaving
but we're
me
going to take
hanging.
a quick break, run some ads, and we will be right back with these interesting questions. Keep it locked to Island Girl Talk.
Now we celebrate. Celebrate with Caribbean. Whenever, wherever, whenever. Celebrate with Caribbean. Whenever, wherever, whenever. Celebrate with Caribbean. Now we celebrate. Celebrate with Caribbean.
Caribbean Tropical Hard Cider. Drink responsibly.
Got you singing like sweet one. Got you singing like sweet one. That other man was practice. That's why it's not lasting. I'll give you my last things. Half the man I'm just acting. Designer from Saks Fifth. Anything you want, you can have this. I'll give you no tactics. Girl, you know you're the baddest. Got me singing like sweet one. Man bow to allegiance. Yeah, everything fit done. Talk about man, you don't need one. How I know you're a sweet one. Fendi purses from Neiman. Random trips get to Sweden. Time they notice we'll be gone. Be gone. When she come in, she still a party. That girl remind me of Somali. Trust me, I don't see no one bother. She busy body like Joanna. She yellow skin tone like a Julie. Popping call inside like a guava. Trust me, she don't deal with informer. I have no dust all your corner. Like she done this for days. Man, them around say she stuck in her face. Now fear's gone, still in her ways. You should see the way that she rockin' the waist. When I come to my place, come to the yard. Could be here, but girl, I do go abroad. Man, try take and I just laugh. Had to separate myself just.
And we are back with more Island Girl Talk. We are still doing our Sip and Spill segment sponsored by Caribbean Tropical Hard Cider. And where we left off was Brave Boy asked us a question, boy. He asked us a question. We're in the process of answering. Miss Neicy answered. What was the question, Brave Boy?
Where's the most public place that you've ever had sexual intercourse?
And it's how he's have we ever had sex in a pub? But he wanna like, where's the most? Yeah.
The most public. Oh gosh. You see what you said? A club?
It was a club.
Sean, you go now?
I don't like this show.
You're right.
I am very private. And I don't tell nobody my business.
I'm private too.
As I said, this was my pre-Jesus Neicy days.
Oh, you're too fast.
Now I'm saved and sanctified.
I'm not sure if this counts, but if your car counts.
Where were you parked?
Where was the car?
Where were you parked?
Where you parked?
Where were you parked?
In the airport.
In West Mall by the park.
Oh, good. That's public.
That's public. Krystal.
Chris. I find Chris stolen. Chris, stop stalling.
Only my fathers watch the show.
Your father know
Daddy block is.
I thought she said your father know you're a whole adult. I thought she's gonna say your father know is a whole. Best lady, that I am not.
Chris. You are not.
Do you snap sauce too?
Everything is all in.
Chris is very picky. Chris can't be hoish if she picky like that.
Gosh, man, I can't be putting these visuals out there.
Answer like a politician.
Just call a location quick.
Answer like a politician.
How a politician is not
like a politician.
Correct. But they answer the question without answering the question.
I had to answer locally or foreign.
Both.
Locally. Everybody said locally.
Locally.
You're not going to call no place that we don't know.
This is a local show.
Exactly.
Yeah, support local places.
Maracas, look out.
What time of day?
Shawna, I have an expression for you. What time of day?
I never stop and look out and not think of Chris now.
It was like after hours, like maybe
After
around
dark.
3 in the morning.
Okay.
Jesus.
You go, Chris.
Oh my God.
Look out while I get here. Okay.
I appreciate the honesty, lady.
We need the Lord and Savior.
Watch Chris. I go into church and sing now, people.
Yeah, but
as I said, pre-Jesus, Neicy.
Yeah.
And what I'm learning is to make peace with my past. Nobody gonna use my stuff against me. That is one thing I learned. Like, you're not gonna take my past and use it against me.
I could only imagine what people saying in the chat room. Only we have to go to the chat room. Right?
Plenty excitement.
That is it for Marcus. Marcus, that's enough.
I have more questions. You know,
we have one more round for you.
Yeah,
right? You see how
because of that, we going
right? You see how we do we did.
Yeah, we going
right.
See me. You're getting it now. You're getting it. Sorry, but
I want to go. I got raw dog in it now.
Raw dog.
Chris, stop saying that, please.
This is an adult show.
Oh
I even
gosh.
put it on YouTube. This show is not for children. So we covered. You ready?
Makeup
Bring it on.
thing.
Do you? I make it up one right now.
Yeah, makeup thing.
Do you enjoy ANAL? Giving and possibly put the camera back on man and eyes. Giving and possibly receiving from a woman.
Oh.
Receiving, definitely no. That's not something I'm
Even if it's from a girl?
Nope, nah. It's just
You
not.
sure?
It's not. Honestly, I don't. Listen, whatever floats your boat, but like that's just not appealing to me personally.
I find this segment, you see this sip and spill is a little dicey earlier.
Yeah, boy.
I'm feeling exposed. I feel exposed.
Yeah, and
So
given.
Given.
I've never done it.
But
Good
you
boy.
sound open.
Technical reasons. You know?
Technical. I'm not. What does that even mean?
Technical reasons is it's. I haven't found the right
willing reciprocal.
the brave girl to
the brave girl to your brave boy.
Yeah, but I mean, it's something. It's one of those things. I think that I've been intrigued by and trying, but it's never happened, man. I don't. It's not like a bucket list thing. I don't have to.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
And the receiving is just not. As I say, for me, every
yeah. All right.
Not for me.
Let's. This is the last one. Make it count. Make it count, Sean.
Go, Sean. We put this on
Tell
him.
us about your most awkward sexual encounter on your end.
On my end, like what I did or what the person.
No, you was awkward and you messed it up. I want to hear all about this story.
I mean, I was saying probably guilty dick. You know, if that, you know,
What
like.
is that?
Like fellas get guilty dick, like you're having sex with somebody where your mind on somebody else who you and that cause you not to
Perform.
This is the first time I'm hearing about this term. That's a thing.
Listen, that's real. Yeah.
So what the girl did? I want more of the story.
I think the girl was understanding, but you know, like if that happens, a woman would start to
feel them.
So I had to have a conversation with myself.
Right.
And then the next morning I made up it. So.
Well, on that note, I want to.
The next morning?
Yeah.
What? So you wasn't guilty?
That is a term, guilty.
Guilty the air.
So we learned something new, guilty dick. Yeah. Oh my gosh, this is such a
But he wasn't guilty. He went back the next morning.
Ego. I was talking about shedding on the ego.
I had an ego.
Clearly, Sip and Spill is the naughty segment of Island Girl Talk. Only, okay? Don't take a hurry.
I want to hear what
But I need to follow it up with this. Say what you had to say.
No, I was gonna say.
Oh Lord, you feel it uncomfortable.
No, I had two funny experiences on the other end. In terms, a woman asked me to talk like a gangster, like talk
sorry.
like a gunta.
Like a gunta.
Can you give us one of the impersonations as you would have had to
stand, Gil. Big man say I get us to do that. I know, man.
Here, Ananias.
Huh? No. Doug like.
Well, our tech is like Caucasian.
Our tech guy.
Yeah.
He's intrigued.
And what's the other one? You say two more.
Yeah, I mean the only other awkward thing is I remember after sex I used to have to suck a finger.
Ew.
I was just different.
Like a baby?
No, like a Tom.
Like a.
I was just different. I can't say as a guy. It was like, what?
It was that good, huh?
It was just like, okay.
It was that good.
It's interesting.
That means you had a very satisfied.
Too funny.
Oh my God.
Now, coming off the guilty dick thing, this is the last one. And we know women do this. I think it's possible for men. Have you ever had to fake an orgasm?
I don't think, or
fake a finish?
I've heard fellas say it's possible, but I don't think it's, like, for me, I don't think, like, I've never done it, but it's just because, and for me, like, I have a big ego when it comes to sex. So I'm a pleaser, and I'm somebody, I don't know if it's because I'm in entertainment, but I'd never want anybody to say,
he was trash.
You see, brave boy?
He was trash.
You know, I have so many female friends, and I hear how they talk about fellas.
I
promise myself that I always, so even in the guilty dick scenario, I have to make up for it. But I say ego is not, to all the fellas out there, ego is not the way. But that's something I've done. Yeah.
Okay, all right, guys. And with that, it's a wrap for the naughty segment of Island Girl Talk, Sip and Spill. Oh, gosh. We didn't really expect it to go that route, huh? Usually our guests play it safe. But thanks. We like it.
It's a brave
boy in the house, living up to his name.
My goodness.
All right. Ananias, let's do one quick ad and come right back with our gone through segment.
You want to do get through, gone through?
Yeah. With the awesome Shawna, bringing the vibes. There's a good one. Yeah? She's bringing the vibes, man. She's bringing the vibes. We'll be right back after these messages right here on OURradio.fm.
Now we celebrate. Celebrate with Caribbean. Whenever, wherever, whenever. Celebrate with Caribbean. Whenever, wherever, whenever. Celebrate with Caribbean. Now we celebrate. Celebrate with Caribbean.
Caribbean Tropical Hard Cider. Drink responsibly.
Welcome back to Island Girl Talk. I'm a tech hit my fake just now, like we ready now. He didn't hit my fake, but he gave me the eye. He was like, we ready. And I was like, we ready. I now about to, take a next step of the Caribbean, take a little jello.
Because things get steamy just now, nah.
Yeah, things get schemy. We really want schemes too, huh? Schemes and steams. Right, and steams. So, this is the gone through segment. Y'all know how it goes. We always discuss a scenario that might be on the get through side of things or the gone through side of things. So, here what we're discussing today, because I'm sure you all would have seen, or may or may not, but there was a video that went viral with in the States, but still, we could relate to it. We could talk about it here. So, the lady blasting her ex, right? Now, mind you, she is a mother of 4 kids. Her ex-boyfriend, however, is the father of her last kid only, right? So he's only, let me repeat, he's only the father of the last child, one child. So she starts this stupid man, like basically in the American accent, right? I'm gonna expose him today. Watch him. He just always show up here every day with one McDonald's meal for her one child. His one child. So it turns into this big heated argument because he's outside like, well, that is my child, so I am showing up with the meal for my one child. Yeah. And then she was like, yeah, but you can't do that because I have. And how am I going to explain basically? How are you going to explain to the other children that they can't have McDonald's while your one child having McDonald's? So then he's quarreling, well, then let their father do their job. So it's a whole back and forth. And then he eventually says, well, then let the child come in the car and eat. And then she was upset about it. And then she threw the food and she threw the McDonald's. And he was like, why would you do that? She said, if all of them cannot have McDonald's, then nobody has McDonald's, right? So eventually he left. So it made an entire uproar on the internet. Of course, she got a lot of blast. But there were also people on the understanding side of things where they would have expressed, you all don't know what mothers have to go through. It's hard to explain to your child that, you know, McDonald's is like a treat. So how everybody else are getting the McDonald's. And apparently, according to the lady, because she made a next video to redeem herself, in my opinion, looking a little further crazy. But in the redemption video, she did express that it is difficult to explain to the other children that they can't have McDonald's, especially seeing that he was the ex. He used to buy it for all of them before. While they were together, he would buy the food for all of them, but now that they are not together, he's just buying for the one. So so she tried to redeem herself. But I mean, I just want to know how y'all feel about it. We want to talk about if the guy get through or gone through, because I heard a lot of people saying from the end of a mother, that's a little bit unfair, that, you know, you're bringing something like McDonald's, you need to respect the woman and at least take the child out or somewhere else. You can't have them having the food there. And you had people on that side and then people on the side with, he's not the father, obviously. He's going to, you know how it's to take care of 4 children in this day and age? You're basically telling the man you have to mind everybody. Right, so.
Because he did make that point. He said, so every time I come here with something for my child, I have to bring for the rest. Everybody. And she was like, yes.
Yeah. Marcus, tell us how you feel.
Automatically I think about, like in a scenario, if I brought food here, I may have just eaten it in the kitchen, not bring it. I think that is just human being respect.
Right.
So that's how I see it. I think that maybe the guy could have taken his son out.
Right.
He ate the food and then come back. So that I think that's, you know, because, but at the same time, I don't know what his budget restraints are. Just saying, like, if for some reason he had no choice but to bring the food there for the child.
Yeah, because apparently he's bringing like meals every day. It's not like an out trip. It's just him bringing food.
It's like it might be setting a bad precedent. It's a tricky thing because you don't know what's the context in terms of what kind of relationship they have.
Yeah.
And that's why communication
is important.
As we were mentioning, is important.
Yeah.
Relationships.
So you agree that he could very well bring meals for his son,
but in a
so respect, so that the other kids don't feel deprived. Take him out.
But we don't know his budget situation.
Right. Regardless of budget, he could be rich.
But
the point is,
he asked if the kid could come in the vehicle. In the car, so are you okay with that? Because he said, well, if you can't have the child eat among the other kids, let him come to my vehicle.
So he was saying that.
Yes, and she did not agree. No.
I would say it's just like, what is his role? Like, is he?
He is an ex.
He's an ex.
He's a baby daddy.
Father, the child father of the last baby.
They're co-parenting their last child.
One child. Yeah. So I think in that case, it's right to say that the
we get through in both of them, right? We get through going through in both of them.
No, let's do it for the guy. For the
guy.
Alone.
So the man get through or gone through?
If you name any positive or the negative light.
Get through or gone through?
I guess
don't be ashamed.
I feel bad about positive. I say
get through.
More get through.
All right, Neicy.
You come back to me. I still marinating.
Well, I will do it because
you go
your
through.
segment.
You go through.
The fella get through.
Yeah.
Because the other children are not his responsibility. He is not. Where are the other men? He did not tell her to go open her legs and have 3 other men practically impregnate her.
Yeah.
I don't want to use the BREED word, but that's the word I really should use. My point is, that's not his responsibility. He did not send her to get these other kids, right? Now, if he chooses to bring meals for the kids, he is a saint. Good on him. I applaud him. That's great. You're a wonderful person. But he's not obligated to do that. He's obligated to take care of his own child.
Yeah.
I agree with Marcus. you don't want the other children to feel some type of way because kids are kids. They go want McDonald's too.
Yeah.
So it's his right to come and say, let me take my son for a little drive now and go and carry your son and eat somewhere, play a little game, eat a little McDonald's, bring him back in an hour. Right? So he get through.
Yeah. I would say that he get through. I just wanted to marinate on the point of how he get through. So obviously he's stepping up to the plate. He's taking care of his child, making sure his child fed. She mentioned the point about when they were dating that he was doing it for all, but the dating period has ended. So the choice is still up to him in that space, right? So he's still showing up to provide for his kid, no problem. If she's having issues financially, because in the first video, I think she was saying that how she check and come or something like that, right? Is the ways of saying stuff. You're putting it on him like a demand, like he have to.
Yeah, she was
You understand what I'm saying? Like
off crazy.
You could have said, well, listen, so and so is his case if you could, and still put the onus on him if he can. But the way that she demanded it, I felt like she went about it wrong. And even when she came back in the video to talk about, to kind of simmer it a bit, she's talking and she's trying to explain. And I'm looking at it like, your hair well do, nails did, eyelashes, and you're curling about McDonald's.
You have no money.
If you don't like, why you not doing it? You understand what I'm saying? Like, if you really can't make, I'm expecting you to look like the struggle that you're trying to describe. That is how I'm looking at it. So I got a lot of entitlement from the situation. I commend the guy, and even the fact that while she was being very disrespectful, he was still there prevailing with common sense. He didn't get out of pocket. He didn't cuss her out, and she was going, and he's still like, how this even making sense?
You're not making any sense. You're not making any sense.
So you could tell that the guy is really trying. You know?
So and even after she threw the food, he was like, really? You really had to do that? And then he jumped in his vehicle and he left. So he was very mature about it.
But she sometimes traumatizing her.
That is, it is.
It's a pure
She's frustrated. She's frustrated because she knows she messed up. You went and you had all them kids. Granted, kids are a blessing. The fact is, you went and you had kids that you cannot provide for adequately, and you want to get mad at a man who's taking care of his own. No.
And she was upset, like he knew his events, like, he knew what he was into, he knew what he got himself into, he knew that I had 3 kids and so forth. So for me, it's also the guy get through
and the woman going through all the way going through. All right, Shawna, that's it.
We wrap up here. So that's it for get through.
We want to keep up with what they're saying in the
let's take a look at the
we only have a few. I like to start from where we left off. We might have to go back a little bit. That's okay, right? We have Marlon saying, instead of joining with multiple people over a 5-year period, keep yourself for marriage. They're talking about previous points. Sorry to say, Marv Monty says, sorry to say, it's not an excuse, but men sadly don't mature as fast as women, both biologically and socially, right? And then we have Marlon Jitto was saying, and I feel like that will be a throw off for creeps. I think we were talking about the topic of the day, right? And then we have somebody saying big tune. I think something was playing. We didn't even get to play the man tune. Oh my gosh, we have so much to do. Anyway, we have Fire Wolfman saying, as Mikkel says, Brave Boy had an arrangement. You know what they're talking about?
Oh, yeah.
When he had to juggle or something. So when he had the 4 women.
I can actually speak more now. I can tell you some up.
It was an arrangement?
No, I think that, like, we as men, like, we told that having multiple women makes you a man, especially in entertainment.
Oh, good.
Unfortunately. And it comes to the territory, as I say, like, women throw themselves, like, that happens, right? But I would say, like, as a person who believes in energy healing, I would not try it if you want, but I wouldn't recommend it because you're spreading your energy across the front, and that's not healthy.
Your soul or your spirit.
Exactly.
I experienced that too, and it's not for me.
Exactly.
A lot of people run the field and then they recognize that after with maturity.
Cyan Burbal goes on to say, nah, I don't have a problem there. I will tell my partner in advance things I like and where to be touched, and I would ask him the same so we can both please each other. Right? And then she goes on to say, most public places are on the beach. Most public place for her was on the beach. Chromatic says, oh, Gyaro. He says, look out while you joke out. Why he so? KCC says, you're lucky I ain't calling for this sip and spill. We do consider ourselves lucky, KCC. We neighbor with you, though. She then goes on to say, but Marcus, that's where the males... What? But she coughed now. She said,
but I want to know if it was a Krystal.
No, she said, but Marcus, that's where the males cough is. Where the males is.
Okay.
Oh! When we ask you if you ever done ANAL, given and received.
Oh my God.
And then she said that's where the meal is.
And I think that's why I said I don't know people who do it because probably is the most pleasurable thing.
Moving on.
Sanchez says mothers. We're talking about the McDonald's issue. He says McDonald's is not respect. Right? He says, bring real meals, not junk food. And then he says, he is tied to the woman. Why is he showing off to her other kids? I mean, Sanchez, we hear what you're saying, but it's not his responsibility to take care of 3 other kids that he did not seed. Right? It's not his and it's an ex. He is doing what a good father should, which is take care of his child. Right? What he can do is show some decorum and not make the other kids feel like FOMO, missing out.
And I still stand by, if she is in need of help, she could have gone about that in terms of the communication differently. And you don't know what his response might have been.
Even if it wasn't help, she should have just politely said, it's not a good look, you make it hard for me to explain to the other kids. It could have been different.
Just like, today, I'm going to put him up. Phone. Yeah, come on.
It's too much.
Come on.
So that's it for Get Through Gone Through, right? You know how we like to do one time, Neicy. One time, we like to do it with Neicy.
And I think could pull up Brave Boy song too. So we could run that after.
Yeah. Nice one, Jones. We have Get Through Gone Through with Neicy. She's going to calm our spirits.
No, we have Empowerment Minutes with Neicy.
Oh, shucks. Empowerment. Neicy. You don't come up for Get Through Going Through. Bye, yo. We have the Empowerment Minutes with Neicy, the lovely Neicy, to calm our souls.
Ooh, I'm lovely.
Our minds, and set us right for the rest of the week. Right? You ready, Neicy?
Yes, I am.
All right.
And this is where I come in to calm the space and calm the place and set you guys on a nice little path to take you through your week with what, ladies?
The Empowerment Minute. Woosa. Now we had to do it again for the brave boy in the
brave
house.
Boy had to get his woosa on.
Right? You see what we do?
You see what we do there?
Right. Your turn.
So this is called the Empowerment Minute. Woosa. So guys, we had a bit of a treat in for you guys, but we winding down. So I'm gonna try to run through this as quick as I can. But don't worry, we have more coming in future episodes. So normally for the Empowerment Minute, I give you guys a nice little quote, but today we want to switch it up a bit. And I want to give you guys 5 ways to deal with de-stressing yourself when you're in a situation that is stressful. 5 ways that you could use as your tips to de-stress. Okay. So we go in quick. All right. The first one: accept the situation for what it is. No woulda, coulda, shoulda, how it was supposed to be. This is what it is. Secondly, find meaning in it. What is the situation here to teach you? What could you learn from this to help you improve? You're talking about improving, from earlier on. What could you learn from this? So look at the situation you accepted, but try to find, that little gem in the situation and how could you benefit from this. Second, thirdly, find a way to soothe yourself in the middle of what you're dealing with. After you accept, after you find meaning, you don't want to just be dwelling on something and beating up about the situation. A bit of boss. Right? Find ways to soothe yourself with whatever you're going through. So whether it's to listen to some music, go for a nice little walk, something of the sort, you would know what is your therapy, Then seek support, whether it's talking to a girlfriend or talking to somebody to give you, some help you look at the situation a different way, or even just seeking advice that could help you look at the situation in a healthier way and bring you back to learning from it, and knowing that you are strong enough to get through whatever it is. The world is not going to end there, so just take it one day at a time and allow yourself the pace and the patience and the compassion to deal with whatever you're dealing with, and know that this is not the end. So that's a quickly accept the situation, find meaning in it, learn to soothe yourself while you're dealing with whatever you're dealing with, seek support if you need it, and lastly, remember that this is not the end of the world. You will overcome and conquer.
This too shall pass.
This too shall pass.
And that is it for the Empowerment Minute. And as you know, it's our rap file and girl talk. That's the end of the show right there, though. That's it there. We want to thank the amazing Brave Boy for joining us on today's installment of Guys Perspective. Snap, snap, snap.
And dropping them gems.
Yes, I we're gonna take it out with you'll introduce your song before we go. But guys, we want to thank you all for always sticking with us, always hanging with us, and thanks for understanding. Last week we thought we was gonna get blown away by the storm. Thank God that he's a Trini. It didn't happen, and we having our show today. All right. Again, we'll see you all next week, Wednesday, from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. right here on Island Girl Talk, streaming only on OURradio.fm. And with that, Brave Boy.
All right, this is my new single. It's called Anchor, produced by Tripton in Germany.
Let me twerk, ladies. I'm joking.
I know you're mad at me, but I just wanna love you, girl. Just dance with me. Hey yo, it's 2 a.m. and we drunk in love, yo. I'm as real as can be. I know I did you wrong, but nobody ain't perfect, girl. Just talk to me. Hey yo, we could work it out, yeah. It's getting late, girl, we don't have to wait. Come a little closer, make that waist vibrate. Smile up on my face, your lips me wanna taste. Bust a slow wine, baby, you could give me pace. Yeah, we combine when we slow wine up on the dance floor. It's that time, push back and grind, you know I'd like more. Give me the flex, just go down just like an anchor. Spotlight on you, y'all perform, deserve an encore. Baby, come dance with me. I know you're mad at me, but I just wanna love you, girl. Just dance with me. Hey yo, it's 2 a.m. and we drunk in love. You should let me know. We build and fall apart like a pack of dominoes. Picking up the pieces, baby, we could let it go. Can see it in your eyes, you don't wanna let me go. We don't have to overthink, we could let it flow. Baby, take my hand and don't ever let it go. People like to talk about the things that they don't know. I know that I love you and I wanna see you glow, yeah. We combine when we slow wine up on the dance floor. It's our time, push back and grind, you know I want more. Give me the flex, just go down just like an anchor. Spotlight on you, y'all perform, deserve an encore. Baby, come dance with me. I know you're mad at me, but I just wanna love you, girl. Just dance with me. Hey yo, it's 2 a.m. and we drunk in love, yo.
And I cannot feel best, and I'll give me your best. If I call you love, you don't like, you don't like. If I call you friend, you don't mind, you don't mind. I think in the maybe another one that you like. And you wanna fight, hey. If I call you love, you don't like, you don't like. If I call you friend, you don't mind, you don't mind. And you wanna fight, hey.
It's our time, push back and grind, you know I want more. Give me the flex, just go down just like an anchor. Baby, come dance with me. I know you're mad at me, but I just wanna love you, girl. Just dance with me. Hey yo, it's 2 a.m. and we drunk in